Last time on Revisiting the Wheel of Time.
All right, I'll just read this. On the heights, all paths or streams are paved with daggers. And old Sean Chan saying. So, all right, there we go. That's my intro. So, let's introduce everybody. So, for the first time, I think since Fires of Heaven, we got Alex Green. You know, the actual football player himself. He just went through a reverse watermelon man phase. Now he's white. What's up, buddy?
The Michael Jackson surgery was successful. Happy to report, and I'm just excited to be back, man. This is an underrated book in my opinion. Not one of my favorite prologues, but there's a part in the Morden part that is just love it.
Yeah, the Morden part's really good.
I hope you're noticing by now, Brian, that the prologues, as they kind of start in these last couple of books, is basically to check in with every secondary character for like a couple of pages. And because there are so many of them, the prologues are like 80 pages long.
Really, when you're using it at 1% power, it's not a big deal. When you start trying to eradicate a nation with it, that's when the limitation kicks in.
I always kind of envisioned that it takes time for the flaw to manifest. Like you can start using it and then it'll start getting worse and worse, unless you're using it correctly.
Yeah, that was always my headcanon, because in the Stone of Tear, he really only does
wrong.
one attack with it, right? And then
he doesn't use it very much before this.
And now the conclusion.
The seals that hold back night shall weaken, and in the heart of winter shall winter's heart be born, amid the wailing of lamentations and the gnashing of teeth. For winter's heart shall ride a black horse, and the name of it is death. Yeah, very biblical. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Wheel of Time Book Club. And today we're going to be talking about Winter's Heart. I only got one more book in the slog, and only two more Robert Jordan books. So we're getting closer. We're getting closer to the end here. So figure I'd get this done. I still plan to get this done this year. So, but without further ado, let's bring in the guests. We got the book cloak himself, the toxic book cloak, who may or may not be a dog.
What?
I don't know.
I'm not a dog or toxic. I have a dog.
Oh. I figure. All right. And then we got here. What's going on, Dane? We got a dog. What's up?
It's Ollie. He's getting huge. This guy's triple the size of last time. Hello.
What's up? Hi. Hello. How are you? And then we got Staple Bro.
Hello.
How you doing? How's college? He's in the grind right now. He's in the grind.
What college are you in, or is that secret?
That's a secret.
It's secret.
Okay.
I can put it in the private chat.
Community college? Sorry, what?
I can put it in the private chat.
He's big time. He's going to a prestigious university. He's friends with all the top professors, right?
Oh, really? Who's the most famous econ professor you have?
I don't know, actually.
All right, if you don't want to share.
And we got a few people in the chat. We got Dude Guy, and we got whose name is Pips?
Well, the horse's name is Death, but I thought it would be funnier if the thing actually said his name was Pips.
There was a part in this book where I think it was like one of Matt's first chapters back. He's like, Pips could ride around all those other horses. And I was thinking of something he said on the Discord. Like he can like run miles around all the other Marines. I think that's what he said. So I thought that I was just like, I laughed when I saw that. So, and we got look who's here. We got Sora and the Pen Reflections. I appreciate the Star Trek soundtrack. Oh, you have to see the outro. I already showed you the outro. I showed you the outro during our stream. So yeah, very TNG. So.
But Amber, if you haven't caught up to Winter's Heart yet, we're going through it. This is Brian's first read, and alas,
Book 9.
All spoilers.
Yeah, I think the last time I talked to Amber, she said she was on. I think she just finished Fires of Heaven. I think.
Yeah, five or six she's on, but she's busy.
Yeah, 6. The end of 6 is great. You'll love it. So, all right. So I figure, I figure we do what we did last time. Do this by character. So
okay,
we'll start with prologue and then divide it by character, I guess. I think that's a good idea. I mean, I know there's a lot of side characters. Like completely forgot about Asmi and the Black Aja. So I'm trying to remember how did they separate from like Ispan and Thalion? Now you got Asmi and Chesnel and Eldrith.
So in essence, Brian, you haven't seen those. Okay, so 2 of them died in the Stone of Tyr. Like they went with 13 of them, right? 13 of them left.
And what's her name?
And
Amiko.
Basically captured at the Stone of Tyr. So they went from 13 down to 11. Those 11 were all in Tanchico for book 4. And I think one of them might have ate it in the Panarch's Palace, but that's not really clear. But in essence, what happens is Moghedien takes hold of the whole group, right? Because Moghedien is the cleaner lady, Mylan, and reorients kind of what their plan's supposed to be. And who they were taking orders from originally was, I think, Bilal, because they were part of the plot to kind of get everyone to Tyr, especially Rand to Tyr. But Bilal ate it at the end of the 3rd book, so they basically swapped allegiances. And a lot of them then just disappear off the page, and a few of them pop up from time to time because Moghedien put them all to work on different schemes. I think Istan and Thalion are then the next ones that you meet, but they're down in Abu Dar, book 7, and they get captured at the end of book 7, right? The Golem fight. So there's 9 others left over. Leandrin, does Leandrin show up in book 9?
We're losing you a little bit. I can barely hear you, but no, but no, she's not. We haven't seen. I don't think we've seen Leandrin since book 8.
Okay.
I like how they were threatening, and I remember in book 2, like how they were threatening to enslave the other or something. Serath was the one that one in the end.
That's true.
I'm going to try and up my mic volume. Is that helping?
Oh, you sound fine now.
Okay. Yeah, I just needed to increase the volume there.
So it seemed like Robin was like put water around you, and we couldn't hear you. Something like you were on water. It's a good thing those fishes and bite your face off or something.
But yeah, so Leandrin comes back, and then a lot of the other Black Aja, they come back in book 11. I think they make a prominent re-entrance.
Yeah, I think so.
But what's Asmi up to in the prologue then?
She's not in the prologue. She was actually in chapter 12. She was in chapter 10. So hers follow. They follow up the assassination, and then they follow up or the assassination attempt. And then they follow up, and then of course the Millie Skane thing follows up after that. So.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. The reemergence of the Black Aja is tied to this plot in Camelin.
Yeah. I barely talked. What's funny is I barely talked about this with Ozzy, even though I had the thumbnail was all Winter's Heart, but I barely talked about this one with Ozzy. So, but I think so. The prologue. We start with Ciane and Pivara, and this is all we get of them. Thank God there's no Elida in this one. There's no Elida or Alviarn in this book. So I mean, I'm assuming that whole plot line gets resolved in book 12, either book 11 or book 12. I'm assuming book 12 because of Gawain. I know that I've spoiled myself. I know.
Well, you can guess. You can guess from the cover.
Yeah, that too. So,
well, at least the updated cover, the one where Gawain is basically blasting on the Gathering Storm.
Yeah. So Cian is like so right now this is like it just follows up to I think the last chapter from or the last time we see them in Path of Daggers. They find out they find a black Aja, and we learned about there's this chair of remorse basically that they use for confession. And I think isn't it also don't they also use that to like undo the oaths? Those oaths, or do they have like another oath rod that
they have the oath rod, and they use that to basically. So Pivara and Cian originally used that to remove their oaths.
Yeah,
and then they giggled about being able to like say the moon is made of cheese, kind of stuff, blah blah blah, and then they re-swore it in front of each other, and then said that they weren't dark friends, so that proved it.
Do we ever get to see? Do we ever get to see like a black Aja swearing oaths or something like that? Do they swear? I forget. Do they swear like their own version of the oaths?
They do have their own oaths.
You don't see it, but you'd get some detail about what that is. But the wording of it is a spoiler.
All right. Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
So it's all later.
So we find out, or like they try so what's funny is the black Aja girl, what's her name, Talene, claims that Elida is black Aja too. So obviously she's still lying, or she's obviously lying. So I don't know what she said.
Whatever she believes to be true, she can say. So Talene believes it. The thing is, we as the reader know that it's actually Alviarin that's black.
Yeah.
Right. So what's kind of odd is essentially that nobody makes that connection in the room. It's like, well, if Talene believes that Elida is black Aja because they have all of her papers, they know what she's going to say before it ever gets done, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And then some people are like, well, it can't be Elida because she sent us on this mission, and no one thinks immediately like, well, what about Alviarin?
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways.
Yeah, because all they think is, it's impossible for Elida to do it, and then or Elida to be the to be the black Aja and all that, and then they don't think of anything else.
Well, then they up the drama because it later gets revealed or whatever that Elida, it gets clarified. Elida did not actually send Cian and Pivara to hunt the black Aja. Elida sent them to find out
treason.
Right.
So that's why I found this whole thing funny, because she wants to find treason. She doesn't believe that there is a black Aja. She doesn't believe that the Forsaken are around because she's a moron.
But Cian and Pivara drew their own conclusions too, and then they realized, oh wait, now we're in a world of difficult, and it's just like, oh, how many more of these chapters are there? People being idiots.
Yeah. So I think that pretty much covers their portion. So I'm. Are they in the next one? Are they in Crossroads or
no?
Oh, they are. No. Okay.
Crossroads. Just every POV that you don't like, just assume that they get like a lot of time in Crossroads.
All right.
I wonder, Staple Bro, how many Sea Folk chapters are in Crossroads Twilight?
No.
Too many.
No, I hate those.
There's a few. I mean, one of them I kind of think is decent.
Yeah. Those are the worst. Those are the freaking worst.
There's some battle scars with getting through this, dude.
Can we get a point of view with that one girl, the Talon, the one that shields Nynaeve, and they're threatening to. They're like, oh, you break
Talene?
out of this. No, Talon. I think her name's Talon. The
youth who's actually very powerful sea folk.
Yeah. I was like, can we get one just her running away and getting caught by bad guys so that we can get something fun? Sorry, that's my wishful thinking again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I figure I'll skip to Tilvain. So apparently the whole thing failed from the last book, them trying to attack the Black Tower. So we find out that Logain and the Mihail are at odds. I didn't even know Logain didn't even find the Black Tower until we get that reveal at the end. Apparently, I don't know where his group's hanging out, but apparently he's the only one that has the Ashaman status. I think everyone else is a soldier.
So basically, Logain showed up at the Black Tower, and it was like, "Come on, guys, you're not going to make me be a soldier or dedicate." Like I was a fucking false dragon, and I like led wars and stuff. And he's very strong, and he's an experienced channeler. So yeah, he got the full Ashaman rank. But everybody else is basically cozying up to Mazrim Taim.
The Mihail himself.
The Mihail. So every other full Ashaman, other than those that Rand had made full Ashaman, those are kind of the Mihail's cronies.
They're in his pocket. Okay.
Yeah.
I figure, I guess it was, I asked this earlier. So like time, I'm guessing by now, like, Robert Jordan, RJ decided to make him and Demandred separate characters by this point, because in the chapter that we haven't even talked about yet, like what's the name of that guy, Kissman? He recalls being ordered to kill Rand by the Mihail, then he was ordered to kill Rand by Demandred, and then he was ordered to kill Rand by Moradin. I think. Which is, he must have been that important to get the higher ups to talk to him or command him too. So,
well, a key thing to note here too. So at the time that this was published, the Taimandrid theory was everybody's favorite, and there's a ton of hints from book 6 or whatever that really made the strong connection. The fact that book 6 came out right as the internet was nascent and all the readers were started discussing evidence for the Taimandrid theory online, it got RJ to change his mind about it. But there are certain things about Taim that you then can't retcon very easily, like his age, for example. We already know, or you should already know, that people who can channel, their aging starts to slow. So if Taim looks like he's in his mid-30s, that means he's been channeling for like 100-some plus years. So how did he avoid going mad? The only way to avoid going mad in the pre-cleansing of the taint is to swear your soul to the Dark One.
Yeah.
To have that connection to the Dark One. So in essence, it still works, right? Taim, but he basically had to be a dark friend all along.
Yeah.
And it makes sense too that like lieutenants or people that gravitates towards Taim, or the ones that he basically promotes early. And Torval, Gedwin, Kissman, and Rochade are the first 4 Ashaman, full Ashaman mentioned, I think as early as Lord of Chaos, or certainly the beginning of A Crown of Swords. Those are the 4 like main Ashaman. And then in Path of Daggers, each of them has like a special new title of like Tovran, Mihail, and like Storm Leader and Attack Leader, or very fascistic names kind of shit. But they're basically, guaranteed Taim's cronies, also dark friends, also trying to avoid going insane by swearing their souls away.
So he has like a palace now. I just recall he has like his own palace. I'm sure it was all built with the power by the recruits, basically.
Oh yeah.
I'm curious. Okay, so you say because he channels now. I don't know if this is basically said in the book, or is this just basically you kind of just what do you call it? Just basically using logic to figure it out, figure that out, all that. If that's the case, what you said, he's been around for a while channeling, like, what has he been doing all this time? Like, did he just start channeling as the false dragon or something?
When someone learns how to channel, and they're male and they don't want to go insane and die, they might seek out, becoming a dark friend to see if that's a route. Like there have been dreadlords in the past. That's kind of always been that's been mentioned from like the first book, right? Dreadlords, people who
and that's what books, and that's why he recruited time in the first place, was because he wanted soldiers, male channelers to counter the Aes Sedai and to counter the shadows.
Now, me noting Taim's age being a little bit too old and being like, well, what has he been doing for 100+ years? That's never explained. But the reason why it's not explained is because I still think from book 6, 7, and 8, RJ was still writing the Taimandrid theory, and then he kind of changed his mind on it. But then, he doesn't address like, oh yeah, Taim is actually 200 years old, because a strong channeler like Taim, who looks 35, if he had the spark and started channeling like when he turned 18 or 19, would definitely be a couple centuries old.
I forget, this aging just slow down, or does it stop at like a particular?
It slows if you don't swear on an oath rod. If you swear on oath rod, it's somewhat different. Your appearance takes on a different characteristic.
The ageless feature that's described.
Yeah. And then the only real indication of age among the Aes Sedai who've sworn on an oath rod is their hair. So they'll still look very, very young, have just white hair, and then at a certain point when they reach kind of their age limit, they just keel over dead.
Drop dead. Yeah.
But in the Age of Legends, if you weren't sworn on a binder, you would probably live twice as long. You would age just like another person ages, at least appearance physically. It would just go very, very slow. That someone as powerful as Louis Theron Telamon Dragon would probably live to be 800 years old instead of 80.
Yeah.
So it's like 10 times the lifespan.
Mm-hmm. And that's what we're finding this out about the kin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking it the same with the Damani now, especially this one new character, Olivia, I think.
Yep.
Who's
400 years old already.
Even stronger than Nynaeve.
Yep.
So we get that, and of course, I'm assuming it's even the same with the Windfinders. Like,
yeah, it would be the same with the Windfinders. Again, they kind of keep it a secret, but they live a lot longer too.
Yeah. So I know you guys had this huge debate about the agelessness, or like, what was it, the Wise Ones, whether the Wise Ones follow that same rule as well.
So the Wise Ones would follow the they would not be Aes Sedai. They're not swearing on an oath rod. My issue in that chat that I think you're alluding to was about Urian's comments in particular. Yeah. And what I think is that when Urian is met in book 2, RJ hadn't yet come up with the whole mechanic about what the oath rod actually does.
Yeah.
But by book 7 and the kin being introduced, and now everything that Elaine and Nynaeve and Egwene are discussing about using the oath rod, that's all getting fleshed out in these books here.
Like, are any of the Wise Ones really, really, really old?
Yeah.
Like old, like the kin old.
Yeah, there should be a few of them.
I
forget their name. Sorelia is quite old, but she's not very powerful. And then Amis is powerful. There's a couple. There's a Nynaeve class, or there's one of them with the Shaido that's actually quite powerful, but they don't really note what her age is. But she would be kind of forsaken.
Is it the sadistic one? Was it the Rava? Was her name, if I remember correctly?
No, I'll look it up, because you're not allowed to look at these things, but they have like all characters by 1 power level on like a wiki. So you can find out who the powerful ones are. So
how is that measured? I mean, all you see in the books is this character is more powerful than this character.
It's from the companion, I think.
Oh,
so RJ had a system with something like 80 different levels, and the top 6 are all male, and then like a 7th A 7th tier male is equal to the most powerful female.
You're roboting a little bit.
He's been
I hope
corrupted.
my connection.
He's been corrupted by the Borg.
Okay.
So, Staple, what do you think of this? What do you think of this?
Is it working yet? Okay.
Your audio, your audio is kind of out of sync with your camera. So we heard something, then your lips moved.
It's like watching an old Japanese film dub.
Yes. Godzilla raids again.
I've seen so many old Godzilla movies.
I have the entire Showa collection. So like the first 15 from 54 to 1975. I only watched like the first 8. I think the last one was like King Ghidorah Strikes Again or something like that. And I think it was on the moon, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
maybe it was Mars.
I think that's Monster Zero, whatever it's called.
Okay, okay. But I haven't gotten as far as like Mechagodzilla yet or whatever. But we're not here to talk about Godzilla, Gojira. Here to talk about Wheel of Time. I actually tried to go to a Japanese bookstore, see if they actually had Wheel of Time, and I had to use Google Translate to ask the person. I had to ask the person. They're like, no, we don't have that. So I wanted to see if I could find the manga looking collection. You know what I'm talking about?
I think I've heard of that.
Like I could totally see this being adapted into like an anime or something like that. So, how you doing, Dane?
I think the roboting is over, and I found out who the lady is. Samarin is a Shaido Aiel, I believe. Or did I get this completely wrong? Wise one of the Shaido Aiel who follows Savannah, and she's basically on a power tier level with Mogedion.
Okay. Oh yeah,
Am I getting a private chat? No, I'm not.
No. We do meet. Isn't Sindane?
Okay, I gotta close some shit down because this is.
Yeah, you kind of got to. All right, I'm gonna keep going. I'll let Dane do his thing.
About Sindane.
Yeah, so isn't Sindane like? Is she still more powerful than Mogedion? Because I know Sindane was like.
I think Sindane.
She is. Sindane got drained 1 power level by the. You know who she is, right? She's Lanfear.
Yeah.
Did you not know that?
I did know that.
It hinted at it.
Well, you could tell when she's just like, I want the Choden call. I want him dead. Yeah, that was totally her. So she's just nothing but vengeance now. So,
but she got some of her power drained by the Finns before she was killed. So she's not as strong in the power as she was before. But she's still very, very powerful. She's basically still like level 2, not level 1 for women.
So they both fell in that doorway. They both fell in that doorway, but it was the eel fins doorway, the doorway, the fox
yes.
the ones that were in Roidion. So but did they still encounter? I mean, I guess this is a read and find out, but did they encounter the other ones, the eel fin, the snakes?
It's the same realm. So if you get stuck there, you'll encounter both of them.
Oh, okay. Do they live? I thought they lived in separate realms. The snakes and the foxes.
Like the physics of their realm isn't really like defined. It's different from how the regular world's physics work. So
yeah. And so I'm taking it basically the Dark One just did what the Dark One does and resurrected Lanfear and as like this white-haired tiny little creature compared to
big fucking tips.
Compared to what was she, like 6 feet tall and like supermodel beauty?
It's a good body. Like she's still like.
Wasn't she? She's the most beautiful. She's supposed to be like. Isn't she like the most beautiful?
Yeah, but you can change her appearance with the power, so that doesn't actually matter too much.
She went from
But
an
yeah,
11 out of
it's
10 to
more-
a 10. So.
It's more she's mind trapped, and so is Mogedion. So that's the thing, and sadly, that's a thing that Sanderson forgot about Sindane Lanfear.
What, that she has
That Moradin has basically her
Sutra.
soul. Yeah, the core sovereign.
What about Megedion? Same with Megedion also
I
has
know.
that too. So
Sanderson just sort of forgot.
Oh God. It's kind of like Dan and Dave kind of forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. Like what would it like if the owner dies, does that free them or do they die too? Basically. Like
I don't know.
Was there an established
Well,
rule or something?
I don't think it's bound to the owner. The owner just like has it, but they're bound to the object. So I think it would probably just be whoever got the object next.
Right. If somebody had your Corsuvra and you could plot their assassination, like you could poison them and then take your soul back,
Yeah.
that would kind of be like your driving motivation.
I see. So we get to, I figure we skipped the we just get to the Forsaken chapter since we're talking about the Forsaken. So apparently they know what Rand's planning. So Rand is planning to cleanse Sidene, and I don't recall how they figured it out, but they did figure it out. And so they're just warning, if Rand is, if Luce Theron is just,
Well, what a lot of the Forsaken didn't know was that Rand had 2 Choden Call access keys, and that he knew somebody, female, who was powerful enough to wield the women's Choden Call.
Yeah.
It was only Lanfear that had that info. So Lanfear, dead for a while, comes back as Sindane. Sindane is the one who then informs to Moradin that actually Rand has 2 access keys and he can try something. And what is he going to do? And then like the Forsaken kind of lose their shit. And one of them, I think Graendal, turns on Sindane and being like, "You knew this whole time, you lunatic, and you said nothing."
Oh yeah. Yeah. So we get that, and then at the same time, I think Moradin shows up. So one thing I thought was interesting is that a couple of the Forsaken were like not in this. It's like I was thinking original Star Trek, like they were not in this episode, so they didn't turn up at all. In this case, it was Semerhaj did not turn up, and Masana didn't turn up for some reason. Is that I'm taking it something's going on that they didn't turn up for this one, or did Jordan's like, I have enough Forsaken on the roster,
Remember, since like book 5 or 6, when this gets introduced, Semerhaj, Masana, and Demandred are in like a triumvirate alliance.
Yeah,
and we kind of know where they are. Well, we do know where Masana is, right? She's in the White Tower because Alviarin's been meeting with her. We don't know who she is in the tower yet. But she's kind of tied up.
Was it brown dress? Was the okay? So she got
that's
brown.
one hint.
One hint.
And then Semerhaj, you kind of meet. It's semi fairly obvious who that ends up being, but I don't want to spoil anything for you if it's not that obvious yet. But she appears in incognito in Winter's Heart. So you've met her.
Okay.
And then Demandred, as we've discussed, right? There was the whole Tamandred theory.
Yeah.
That was put to rest, but Demandred is then what this book reveals. He's the puppet master behind the Black Tower plot. He's the guy getting Taim and Dark Friends in positions of authority in the Black Tower. Guys like Torval and Gedwin Rochade. But now they've also got Aes Sedai bound to them. So there's a ton of bad shit that Demandred.
Do they wait? So the Times section has Aes Sedai as well.
It's possible, but
Because I know they delivered. They did deliver some Damani and some Sul'dam to Elaine.
Yep.
And we might as well talk about Elaine now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So apparently, Time likes Elaine's hips.
Who doesn't?
He's got good taste, all right.
Yeah. And all because was it all because they decided to go through the was it the first sister
Adoption
ceremony?
ritual.
The birthing ceremony. All right.
Beautiful.
All right, and we got looks like we have an Alan came by. What's up, Alan?
What?
I do. I like Elaine's hips. She's my queen.
McQueen.
Queen.
I'm not
Holy crap.
I'm not
Alan,
worthy.
I just got to say right up front, bud, you are looking slim and trim and looking
Thank you.
good, man.
Thank you. Did you know that I was dieting?
I saw some posts, but I haven't seen like an updated photo from you in a while, but it looks like it's going quite
How much
well.
Yeah.
how much you weigh now?
I weighed in this morning at good old black dress with the tights underneath. 303, baby.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
What were you before?
350 pounds.
350 pounds. Wow.
So
So
already
I've
down
almost
50.
I'm 3
Look
pounds
great.
away. I've almost lost 50 pounds in 2
Wow.
months.
Nice.
Wow, that's
Well done.
how
Well
many,
done.
how many calories are you eating a day now? Are you like at 1,500?
Yeah, 50. I'll if I'm making it to the gym 3 times a week, I'm at 1,500 calories. If I'm not going to the gym, I eat 1,000 calories a day.
Keep it up. Keep it up.
I drink 1,000 calories a day.
Nice.
What is that, wine?
Yeah.
So, Alan, what do you think of Winter's Heart? Like some initial. I mean, you probably read it like a few weeks before I finished, or probably
No.
more.
I put it off. I was waiting. I was waiting for you to get at least halfway done through the book because I just speed through the audio because I'm a filthy.
I
dirty
did that on Friday.
audiobook listener.
Yeah, I
Oh,
didn't
you
quite
finished
fin-
it?
I didn't quite finish it on Friday. I was supposed to finish on Friday when
So
I
you
had
put- you
Ozzy
put in
when I
the
had
audiobook?
Ozzy on, but I read the last couple chapters this morning. It was I skipped I skipped the last 2 Matt chapters and I went right to Rand stuff and read
I
Ken
will say-
Bane and
Yeah.
the cleansing.
I will say the slogginess of these middle books is I think it's a lot easier to or it's a lot more palatable in audio format because you don't if it's just talking about the ladies you can listen to it, you don't have to pay 100% attention,
Mhm.
but I enjoyed Winter's Heart. I liked it better than the last one.
Path of Daggers.
Upon reread, Path of Daggers. I didn't hate Path of Daggers, but I found the first third of Path of Daggers really boring, and loved the last end of it. But I think Winter's Heart is the better book. I don't hate any of the Wheel of Time books. I enjoy reading Crossroads of Twilight.
This is a key distinction about Crossroads, Brian. What you're getting into,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah, I just like Sanders.
When you waited 2.5 years to get Crossroads of Twilight because you wanted all the answers to kind of what was left,
exactly. I
hanging
fully
at the end of
understand how
Winter's-
that was disappointing.
Yeah, because I bought Crossroads the day it came out, and I basically read it cover to cover in 6 hours,
Right.
if not less, and then I threw it across the room. Literally, that's what I did. That's the ending, and then I popped it
That
against
is
my dorm room.
Understandable. My first read through was 7 years, maybe 6 years ago, so I could binge the whole series. So I didn't have to wait in between books and spend a long time without hearing anything from Matt. So the slog is already lessened if you didn't read the books as they were coming out. So I didn't really experience that much of a slog. I think I got to Crossroads of Twilight and I was like, okay, this one's definitely slowed down a bit. But I still enjoyed it. I really like the Matt stuff in Crossroads of Twilight. I think it's fantastic.
Is that where the spanking is?
That's where the spanking is, baby.
I thought the spanking was next.
Just you wait till you get to the spankings. Best part of the whole series. Ooh.
Didn't they already have like spankings?
There's more.
Yeah, there's
Just you wait. There's more spankings.
Oh, let me guess. Man, one. Oh boy.
No.
But
it also it must be like the Monty Python and the Holy Grail thing.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's Zoot. Oh, wicked Zoot.
But on top of that, I think the audiobook it lessens the slog even more because I can also understand if I had to sit down and read through some of the slower chapters how I could get a little fatigued.
If you I'll put it the other way. If you're rereading and you know what you're rereading, then you can basically glaze over it. The issue that I had with Crossroads of Twilight on that first read, where I spent like 6 hours like reading every word in detail, and if my mind wandered because it was a long descriptive passage, I went and reread it again because I knew there are clues buried all throughout these books about stuff that like I want to discuss on chat forums and whatnot.
Right.
So I read it very, very attentively, and I didn't pass over anything. And at the end of the day, it was all for naught.
Yeah, not a lot happens in the next one, but I liked Winter's Heart.
Okay.
The ending is phenomenal. I think it's one of the better endings in
I'll
the
get
series.
I'll get to that. I'll get to that. I mean, I didn't hate the ending. I mean, I thought it was very entertaining. But I'll get to that when we.
And
when
even the ladies' chapters in this book were more interesting than the first half of the last one. So
because Elaine gets laid.
Yeah,
not just laid.
Rand gets that royal couscous, baby.
Yeah. So I figured. So now we're on Elaine. We're just talking about hips and all that. And so they get their birthing.
Hips don't lie.
We get the birthing ceremony, and I thought that was a wild. I thought that was a wild little bit of a roller coaster ride going. I thought I was being born myself.
I don't know how high RJ was when he wrote that, but
well,
the sisters bonding, the first sister ceremony. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
No,
they say that they tell the truth about how they feel about each other, and then they smack each other, and then they're born, and then
they have a power induced bond between them. So I think it's quite beautiful.
Yeah, I love
the whole story,
I like it.
because you got to remember too, what was the context in which Elaine and Avienda actually became close in the first instance? Avienda came to Elaine in Crown of Swords, thinking that Elaine was going to stab her to death.
Yeah.
Right? Because Avienda had sworn to basically look after Rand because Egwene asked, but it's for Elaine. And then Avienda ended up sleeping with Rand, and then she felt she had major toe, so obligation under her culture, that she basically betrayed somebody else. And the only way that she could meet her toe is basically lay out all these implements in front of her, in front of Elaine, and be like, this is what I've done. Whatever you decide the punishment is, I'll take it. And in the worst instance, it's that knife that she was sharpening, essentially, for a whole book to kind of come in. And then Elaine basically is like, put your shirt back on. I'm not going to beat you. I'm not going to stab you. Internal monologue, I so want to fucking stab her.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But that doesn't.
Finn had already told her that she's going to have to share Rand, right?
In part. Yeah. But, there's still said feelings. But then the realization, it's like, okay, I love Rand. I know I'm going to have to share it, and I'm okay with that and reconciled to it. And then they spend the bulk of the next two books kind of getting to know each other, and they get to know each other to the point that they want to adopt each other as first sisters.
Yeah,
And
it's
the IO
basically when Elaine is like, holding off the Sean Chan with the gates and all that. She's trying to unbuild the gate herself. Avienda comes back for her and helps defend her, and they get away. And it was that realization. They're like, that's at the end of that particular chapter was when they're like, we're gonna do this. We're gonna be.
Well, they've been through battle together, right?
Mhm.
And,
Yeah.
and so there's real character growth here. But once you get to this ceremony and realize, they both love Rand, they both want to marry him, but they also care for each other as sisters. This is why that season 3, episode 1 was so offensive to so many of us.
It straight up says it was one of the best chapters too. Like, I love this woman as my sister, not sexual. Really, if the show gets adapted, don't make our relationship sexual. I read that in this book.
Yeah, it says that.
It said that. That was dialogue in the story, and ridiculous. Platonic friendship does not exist in Hollywood, so.
At least now, no.
I loved their bonding ceremony. It was very
I liked it too. I mean, I actually said something. If I really enjoy a section, I will share it on the in the chat basically. And I actually liked this one quite a bit. My issue is I've never been a fan of the love triangle, to be honest. So when they all get bonded at the end, I'm just like, I don't like.
I love the dodecahedron.
Yeah, you could call it a pyramid.
Yeah,
or a tesseract,
or whatever. And you also have Alana is in the mix, and then of course, who's connected to Brigida is connected
as
to
well.
But that's funny.
That's so great.
That's so funny.
Yeah, because they're
basically
not just men. They're like
Elaine is trying to mask her bond for the first time because she's about to get railed by Rand, and then not succeeding.
And they're all.
Brigitte knows what's happening via Elaine,
Yeah.
and Avienda and Min know it's happening via Rand, and it's not working. And the only solution that they can basically come up with is just to get shit faced.
Yeah,
Great.
I mean, is this like the payoff to this whole love triangle thing? Is there more to it? Is there going to be something even further down the line that's going to, that this is setting up, or is this like it?
All right. So sadly, so one thing that comes out of this, and you'll know that this will be very evident, is Min says to Avienda and Brigitte drunkenly when they're together that Elaine is going to get pregnant because of this, a boy and a girl.
Okay, that was the other thing that I was going to bring up. But yeah,
right.
This was one of those things that I learned ahead of time, so this was spoiled for me.
But because Elaine hears this and Min saw this, she basically thinks she's invincible from now on, because Min always sees what happens. And if Min sees that I'm going to have a boy and a girl, that means as long as I'm pregnant, I'm going to be alive.
And she doesn't foresee any other circumstance.
Which is so Elaine from this point forward until, basically the end of the series, calendar-wise, is not, it's less than 9 months from now. It's like 8 months.
Yeah.
So Elaine acts like a complete invincible idiot for the rest of the series.
Yeah, because they say something odd. There's something odd about the viewing. So
no, the other thing that happens is it's Min's internal monologue when she's viewing Avienda, that Avienda will have 4 children at once.
Yeah,
there's something odd about it.
Yeah.
Avienda does not get pregnant in the series. It's left for the future, so I can explain what's odd about it when you've read the whole series.
Yes.
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
And Min can't see anything about herself.
Mm-hmm.
So she doesn't know her own fate, whether or not she has kids or whatnot.
Okay.
So
Not for lack of trying. Goodness gracious.
Yeah. So we kind of got a little bit ahead of the whole that with Elaine and all that. So I think what else was there to talk about with Elaine? Like
Well, I like that they all-
they're putting together a women's guard,
Yeah.
and apparently they're so she has like her banker guy come in. I forget his name.
Nori, Halwyn Nori.
Nori, and they find out that she struck, well, instead of oil in this, it's alum.
Yeah.
So they get some alum, and they're able to. So I'm trying to understand this. Once again, I'm not the best when it comes to consumer economics, but is it just like is the alum supposed to be like collateral for
Well,
for the alum or for the loan?
yeah. So the alum deposits that she finds on her estates basically means that her estates are worth a lot more than what they were the day before the find.
Yeah.
So she needs to basically go into debt in order to finance the war to secure the crown.
Mhm.
She's got more assets now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all what's kind of being explained here, and where RJ is going with this whole like Elaine plot in War for the Throne of Camelin is he saw George R. R. Martin do a very gritty, kind of grounded in realism, political fantasy story with the first 3 Game of Thrones books or Song of Ice and Fire. He's copying it mostly here in Winter's Heart. So keep in mind, so this book came out in 2001. So he was writing it mostly 99 and 2000. He was seeing George R. R. Martin pick up finally success on the first 3 Song of Ice and Fire books, which I believe were released in like 96,
98, and 2000.
Yeah.
Or 99 or something like that.
So that's what he's kind of copying here. The issue that a lot of readers have, or maybe I have with this, is when you write a big fantasy story and you keep escalating the plot, you keep escalating events bigger and bigger, you can't go back down to reality and have it feel satisfying for the reader.
Mm-hmm.
So we already saw Dumais Wells, where an army of male channelers who are set to go insane came in, saved the day, and basically turned a army of Aiel super warriors into a meat grinder in the most epic battle ever. I kind of want my stakes to keep rising on every book after that. So when a detailed explanation of the economics of Manor House economics are explained to me, for some reason, I don't know why, it just didn't land with me. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what's the joke? Aragorn's tax policy, as George R. R. Martin always says. So I'm guessing Robert Jordan wanted to come up with something kind of like that. But he talks about the economics. He's talked about the economics since Dragon Reborn.
Yeah,
the whole Kyrian, losing its.
If you're going to do it, you do it early, and then it's a thing about pacing and structuring a story. If you're building up your plot, it has to have somewhat of an upward trajectory, and this whole Camelin side plot, like Camelin was conquered at the end of book 5. It was already in the camp of the good guys. The Forsaken guy was thrown out. Everything's good, and now we're 4 books later, and apparently needs to get reconquered for Elaine this time. It falls flat
because she wants to accomplish it for herself. Ugh.
I think it's explained pretty well, guys. I don't know what you're complaining about.
It's kind of dumb.
She can't just be gifted the kingdom, or they won't.
Or what?
Because that's how Camelin works. They're not going to respect or recognize the authority of a leader who didn't.
You got like 100,000 Aiel that you could make them basically. All right, you're on our.
That's true. I don't know. This plot line worked for me.
It didn't for me.
When I haven't gotten to the next book yet, but when I read it the first time, it made perfect sense that she had to do it herself too. So
So, just to keep this moving, basically, so basically, she gets she has a meeting with Dylan, and she drinks she gets fork root poisoned again. 4
Hooray!
months later, she gets fork root again, and Dylan takes on 3 male assassins.
Yep.
And one of them, I think, doesn't she like dispatch like 2 of them somehow?
She managed to fight off some, and like Dylan gets stabbed and like nearly dies, but David Hanlon comes in and saves the day, hucking his sword.
Doylan Mahler, I think is his name.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
And
I
then,
gave his alien stat.
and then of course, we get the Millie Skane little section, and David Hand's like, "Hey, look at me! I'm head of the guard now." So I was like, "Okay, that means he is masquerading as Doylan Mahler." So I'm curious now. Now I was thinking about this. I was talking about like with Ozzy on Friday, like ideas of how they would properly, or ideas on how to adapt certain things. How would you adapt like the masquerading element of this? Would you like just do a Blofeld and like not see the face at all or something, or would they
No,
or would you have them change, or would they have different actors, make them look slightly different or something?
So David Hanlon is first introduced as being like one of the White Lions, and he's at the camp in A Crown of Swords with Torum Rioton and
Is he?
Yeah, he's there. So anyway, he's there. People note him. That's David Hanlon, White Lion, Andoran faction, who's been fighting across the river.
I can show them if you ask.
Sorry.
Torum Rioton, I thought was a little.
Sorry, my HomePod decided to talk to me.
Don't worry about it; it's fine. Since you mentioned Torum Rioton really quickly, I was a little disappointed. I mean, I know what RJ was going for in the Blue Carp Street chapter, but I would have rather had cut to Land's point of view and him dueling another blade master. I kind of wanted to see that, so I was kind of disappointed with that. With this, there's a blood stain on him, and that means Torum Rioton is dead. So I don't know. Would have wanted to see. I want to see Land do stuff like that. But
anyways, adapting David Hanlon, you would basically introduce him as like David Hanlon in A Crown of Swords, hatchet-faced man, absolutely vicious and kind of sly, and then he'd disappear for a few episodes, and then he'd come back as Captain of the Queen's Guard kind of thing, or he'd basically be the guardsman who saves Elaine by hucking his sword across the room, which is the only time that happens in the book. But holy crap, in the TV show already, we're not even at like this point, but people huck swords all the time. It's like the deadliest weapon.
What about like the scene with in Path of Daggers where he comes in, it's from his point of view, and he witnesses Lady Shane executing Jacob Carradine by drowning him in the alcohol, in the rum or the brandy.
Yeah, it's better.
Would you not show his face? Would you just like hear his voice or something? It might sound familiar or something.
Well, a lot of the Forsaken can shapeshift too, though.
Yeah, but David Hanlon's not Forsaken.
Faces.
Millie Skane is not Forsaken. Yeah.
I'm saying with the Forsaken, that wouldn't be an issue in adaptation.
You're just wondering about like the reveal. The thing is, what RJ is going for here, as far as the reveal, is that he's introduced about 2,000 characters, and even though it was only a book ago, you're going to forget who David Hanlon was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Also, sometimes it's okay that the audience knows something that the characters don't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like I guess like a good Hitchcock or something like that. There's a bomb under the table. the characters don't know there's a bomb on the tail, but we do. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's I like that type of stuff. So, but yeah. So we I don't know if there was anything else, Elaine. Oh yeah, there's like this other plot. Like there's these two other rivals for the throne that were supposed to be escorted to Camelin, but they got
freed, and they're going to join the other camp. And who gives a shit?
And apparently, that's how this Elaine stuff ends. Basically, just Elaine goes to meet the so follows up, Path of Daggers prologue. We meet the Borderlanders. She meets them. We don't really find out. She doesn't find out why they're there. They're just there. And she comes back and she's tired. She wants to go to sleep. And there's this army coming in, laying siege to Camelin, basically. And that's how this Elaine section ends, basically. So.
Well, she knows why the Borderlanders are there. They're trying to find Rand. That's what they admit to her, right?
Oh.
So she uses them to help her situation.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm curious where that goes. In the next one. So, but yeah. So I think that's it for Elaine. I don't think there's anything else worthy to.
I did like how all three of the girls had to have a meeting to figure out what their schedules with Rand were going to be. I think that's hilarious.
I also I'm pretty sure when they're all professing their love to Rand, there's a line that even Lan is what the hell?
No, Lan is just sitting there nodding. It's Nynaeve.
I thought he had a shocked expression on one of them.
Nynaeve is like, what the crap? You can't. What are you girls doing? And then no. Rand starts, right, and she's like, "What the crap, Rand? Why would you say that?" And then all the girls respond, and she's like, "Huh?" But I think it just says Lan just looks impressed the whole time.
No, Lan is studying the contents of his pipe the whole time.
Oh yeah. He's staring at the floor. I'm not involved in myself.
I'm just smoking.
Nothing to do with me.
The great thing about all this, do you know what the genesis of this 3 chicks for Rand?
It's Robert Jordan, yeah.
Because Robert Jordan had 2 girlfriends at the same time when he was growing up, and the 2 girlfriends knew about each other, and they basically coordinated with each other. Okay, you can have him these days, I'll have him these days. And RJ's just it worked fine. Okay, Rand, just same thing, and just one more. What's the big deal?
Yeah. What a player.
What a fucking stud. Dude was how tall was he? He was 6 foot, also 6'6", and tall, strong, handsome. Yeah, all right.
Gunner
he was that big. Robert.
He was a big guy. That's in part why Rand is a big guy and why Perrin is a big guy. I always
thought because to have the leader, to have the emperor of the world, you have to have someone who is really tall. At least that's why I thought. I knew he was. I knew Robert Jordan was big. I mean, I figure with the parent stuff, he was bigger and stronger than the other kids. He had to be careful, not to hurt anybody.
Yeah, that worked into how he wrote Perrin, so he had that perspective, obviously. But he was a big guy.
Okay, all right. I did not know.
And apparently, he was a handsome fellow, and when we were all nerds in high school, he was pulling down 2 chicks at the same time.
Yeah, and then he went to war
and crushed it.
Yeah. What about the whole the murder of Adelaus and was it Ispan? Is that going to be resolved anytime soon? Is it?
It's going to be resolved in Book 11. Nothing happens in Crossroads of Twilight. If there was a resolution to this, I would have mentioned it.
There's one good Perrin moment in Crossroads of Twilight.
No,
shut up. One moment.
No,
Karen.
it really isn't.
I thought you said Karen
Karen.
moment. Like
Karen.
that's
Kind of a
every
Karen
book.
moment.
That's every book.
Yes, it gets resolved. You find out who did it, because I believe at this point it's been reduced down to they all know that one of the three Aes Sedai from the palace at Abu Dar is a dark friend. So Serethia, Marililla, and
Carrie Ann.
yeah, one of those three has to be it. And so the kin basically come out and say, like, all right, we've been studying this. I think it's in Winter's Heart. And they basically say, okay, the only person to have access to Adelaus in order to do this and has to be one of those three to be the dark friend.
Mm-hmm.
You find out who it is in book 11.
And so that's one thing that I'm curious about. And the other thing, and this is another thing that happens in Path of Daggers, and I'm assuming that doesn't get resolved either in the next book, is who compromised Sheriam.
Sorry, compromised how?
Well, Sheriam gets assailed by an unseen figure, and is questioned by this unseen figure what Egwene's up to.
Yeah, but Sheriam is sus, and we already know who's
And
evil.
I don't think it's Erengar or Halima.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Go back and check like your Sheriam stuff. Sheriam is a suspect figure. That's all I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
She was not above board. If I recall, just to hang a lantern on it. Remember when there was a gray man who shot a crossbow at Egwene and Nynaeve in the tower?
Yeah, we find out that Slayer was there.
Yeah, but we also find out from that the gray man got killed with a dagger through the heart, but Sheriam never asked who killed him.
Yeah, I do remember that.
So Nynaeve was suspect of Sheriam back in book 3.
Interesting.
Again, there's benefit, not a spoiler, but a benefit of a reread, hanging a lantern on that point. So if Sheriam is getting kind of issues with stuff, it's not that she's been compromised. Just go back and reread her events and her character. More will be revealed in the future. Not a big mystery.
Okay. All right. I figured I'd ask. That was one of the few things from Path of Daggers.
I don't count that as a spoiler. That counts me as basically like attentive reading because I've read it 80 times.
Yeah. All right. We already talked about so Rand. Probably actually no, not Rand. We're not gonna go.
Should we do Perrin first? Because
It's like one chapter, huh?
Yeah.
No, it just feels like that.
So Perrin is Perrin cannot get. One thing that I did like from the Perrin chapter, we learn what happens to like the Amadisians. We learn what happens to. There's this battle of Jermel, and the king of Amadisia gets killed in battle, and the White Cloaks withdraw from the battle completely. So I'm kind of wondering, when we're going to see like Valda and the rest of them again, because we haven't seen them since what was it, book 6.
You were gonna like Valda.
I mean, I know.
You're gonna like the resolution of the story.
I know about the prologue of Knife of Dreams.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if there's anything before that.
Not really.
I didn't think so. Yeah, and curious what the future of the White Cloaks are. So I guess I'll see that. I guess we'll see that then. Apparently, I'm guessing they died the same way. The Sean Chan just obliterated them with the Damani, basically.
Yeah.
And I think it was Balwer that brought this. Balwer was the one that brought this information to him. So, yeah, what happens is, I mean, basically, in a nutshell, he finds that out, and he finds out, from Berlin that, Fael and Magdan and Alejandra, the queen, get captured by the Shido. And we also find out that, and I'm curious where this goes, Missima, I heard Missima makes dealings with the Shan-Chan. I've even heard the White Cloaks, like Valda and Asanawa, make dealings with the Shan-Chan as well. I'm curious if any of that's true.
Sadly, it's read and find out, and it's very, very slow.
That's what I thought. And then the wolf, and then he tries to get like Hopper and the wolf and all the wolves to help him, and the wolves are like, sorry, we don't really go into the business of the two legs, is that what they call them?
Yep.
2 legs or something. So yeah. I don't know. Dane, you answer that. Am I hate reading? Am I really hate reading right now?
No. Ma'alanir, this isn't a hate read. It's an honest read, right? And the thing, you can't be honest about the Wheel of Time without saying there are some problems with it. There's stuff to get through. But if you're aware of it going in, it enhances it. One of the best things that I ever read, kind of about how to appreciate said literature, there's a great intro to the Count of Monte Cristo that's on my shelf. It's written by Umberto Eco, who those who know who that is, and they know what the Count of Monte Cristo is. The Count of Monte Cristo was written as a serial by Dumas that was published in magazines back in the day. Like every month there would be another chapter coming out. So he wrote it discovery writing, not knowing where it was going. And if you ever decide to read the Count of Monte Cristo, there are very long interludes of detailing the French politics and this and going into detail. And it seems the plot's going on a very long tangent, etc. And you just kind of wonder, where the fuck is his editor condensing the story down and just giving us the meat, giving us the meat and giving it to us raw, as opposed to like all this other stuff. And the thing is, what Echo points out is any attempt to edit down the Count of Monte Cristo to what would be a Hollywoodized script, what would be the 2002 film with Jim Caviezel and Henry Cavill in his first big role, by the way. It's a decent film, but it wouldn't be the Count of Monte Cristo.
No, it takes a lot of liberties.
It takes a lot out. And the thing is, the slow parts of the Wheel of Time and the Count of Monte Cristo is what makes the fast parts, the exciting parts, feel like your heart is racing, right? So, yes, I get it on like a first read and it feels like tedium, but on a reread, if you know the events, if you know the plot, you know everything, you can get a further appreciation for it, precisely because what he's doing, you can say it's a mistake with pacing, potentially, but you could also say he's basically slowing it down to a crawl in order to speed it back up, and he's making a roller coaster out of all of it. And that, you can get indulgent with the amount of different characters that you have and different points of view and different intersecting plot lines and everything. What he's making is a reconsumable product that every time you reread this, you pick something else out of it. So at the end of the day, like there are issues with it from what a editor or publisher would advise would be a straightforward, coherent, mass consumable product story. And yes, you could trim down the Wheel of Time to maybe take out 25% of the words, make it only 75% of what it was before, or cut it in half. But at the end of the day, it wouldn't be Wheel of Time.
Yeah, my expectations have been. I mean, I came up with expectations based on how the first 3 books were. So that's kind of why I've been more
Right.
critical. I
Those
mean,
were tight books with tight storylines, and the pacing and the action, everything was great. So that's the other kind of flip point of it is with these fantasy writers who write a good first couple of books and then they get a series that's their moneymaker, they don't have an incentive to wrap up the story. If anything, they have a disincentive. They have an incentive to drag the story out as long as
well,
possible.
it's like you said, his Robert Jordan, was making $1 million a book because of how successful every subsequent book was.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get it. I totally get it.
But at the end of the day, too, if you trim stuff out of it, if you trim stuff out of Count of Monte Cristo, you trim things out of Wheel of Time, it wouldn't be what it is.
Probably.
So
No, I don't think you're wrong there. So yeah, that's just I don't know. I've talked my expectations quite a bit. So let's move on. So Karen, so Fael gets basically dragged naked. Which
great scene.
Wasn't yeah, like it was a great scene. It was good to see. It was good. It was good to see some ample. Does he ever use well, he says bottoms. He says bottoms, or he basically says
yeah. There's no
ample
smacking of
bottoms,
asses, but
yeah. I've been saying the word bosom more myself because of these books. So it's been these books have been a bad influence on me. But yeah, but yeah, we get to see the Fael being dragged, and I was like, you know what, some Schadenfreude, as horrible as it sounds, she was just awful for most of the time. So, I mean, there was
you don't
time,
care.
Yeah, I don't really care.
Roland is your favorite character. I got it.
Who?
Huh? It's the Shaido who basically captured her and like smacks her on the ass.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot about.
He's
that.
a good dude.
No, it's not.
Totally is.
He totally is. He's the true hero of the story.
Roland.
Next to Rand, Roland is like right there.
And then I think, what does this all lead up to? This all leads up to,
Oh god.
basically they need to they get blackmailed. Was it Katerina? Not Katerina. Galena. Galena's
Oh,
like,
God.
you better steal this oath rod. So apparently Savannah and her very fragile gang have an oath rod, and they force Galena to swear to obey on the oath rod or something like that.
Yeah.
So now they have to go steal it.
So again, here's a dish. Like this is a different oath rod. So it's not the one that they have in the tower, but it does the exact same type of things. So it's like a binding rod. So you find out more about this kind of like if you go back and read some of the Forsaken chapters of them talking about bindings and how they dealt with criminals back in the Age of Legends, it's particularly relevant to Semerhage and like her odd point of view in the earlier stuff, because Semerhage was a fucking psychopath sadist who basically had a choice before her of being severed, i.e. stilled, or on a binding, and she decided, fuck all you guys, I'm going off to the Dark One and swearing to him. Like that's her kind of plot line. But the bindings and what it's able to do, there are little hints in that section. But what it implies is there's more than one ter'angreal that does this. And in essence, the tower has one, they call it the Oath Rod. And what the Shaido have here is another one. And they're using it to basically bind Galena in much the same way.
So what is their, I mean, are they just, is their goal right now just to find the other Shaido and
they've been again, it's not very well done,
and enslave everybody, and that gets in their way, or that they basically run into?
Here's the other problem with the whole Shaido plot that we're getting at. It's all being commanded by Savannah, who is a categorically insane character, whose whole plan is to go and flash her tits in front of Rand and marry him.
Yeah.
That's why it doesn't land properly.
So the question is, I know that there was a bunch of Shido that were killed in book 7 when they were all being, separated by, Samael and Grendel. Are there any other Shido left besides Savannah's little band?
They're all over the place, and they're basically gathering, and so they're collecting. So that's ultimately
they're going to be like.
camp-
Is there going to be like a final?
Yeah,
battle?
there's going to be a final battle. Essentially, all of them collect. Parrot is chasing them, kind of up and down and around. The Shan-Chan get into the mix. Like, it's all culminating to a big battle that'll happen in book 11.
It's a pretty good battle.
Because it's pretty fun. It's pretty good. The only thing why I say book 11 is because I've already told you nothing happens in book 10.
Book 10, yeah. That's why that's probably why I want to. Like I said, I want to try and skim book 10 as much as I can. So,
Audio book at 1.75 times speed. Good work.
I might just do that. I might just do that because like I said, I want to start reading some other series. I want to
Threw it across the room. I'm not lying. I still have it on the shelf though.
Mm-hmm.
I might have ripped it. Give me a second here.
No.
So let's keep going. What's the next one?
It's in remarkably good shape for how much I abused it in 2003.
Oh, you still got an old copy? Yes,
I got an original copy. This is bought the day
Nice.
of. Right?
Oh.
This is a first edition. Crossroads of Twilight. It's only like worth 2% more than the cover price.
Where's any signatures?
No.
Oh.
RJ would not come up to Alberta, like, ever. But as you know, when you're like looking for first editions, you look at the numbering.
Oh.
It was bought the day of.
Nice.
Nice.
Cool.
All right. By the way, what's up? Gadfly? How you doing? Trying to remember what was another plot line. So Perrin. Going back to Perrin. So Fael's going through that. So Perrin basically, once again, finds out that Messima and his army are showing up, and we find out. I forget why he does this. He puts up the banner of the Eagle of Manetheren, and they say it's because he's basically hiding in plain sight, basically.
Yeah, so
I'm trying to understand the logic by doing that. Like, they just think he's nuts and they're going to leave him alone or something.
no, so Perrin's real mission was to go get Messima and bring him back to Rand.
Yeah,
That was Rand's task for him.
yeah,
But what gets revealed is and remember the one public thing that happened in Kyrian is that Perrin and Rand had a fake falling out, but everyone believed it was real, right?
Yeah.
Perrin picked a fight, and for all intents and purposes, Perrin's been banished by Rand. So Perrin cannot be on an obvious mission for the Dragon Reborn to go and find Messima and bring him back.
Mhm.
So the obvious mission he's doing instead is trying to raise the Red Eagle of Manetheren and build a kingdom for himself. So that's his cover.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So going around and basically being like, Manetheren, let's like try and raise this up, and because Gildan was part of Manetheren, at least originally, and he's Lord of the Two Rivers and blah, blah, blah. So long as everyone thinks he's a crazy guy out there trying to revive a long dead kingdom, they won't think he's out there doing anything else.
Doesn't he go off on Berlin because he wakes up? Doesn't he he wakes up inside her like tent or something like that?
Yeah, so this is another subplot to pay attention to. but you recall from book 3 the hawk and the falcon on his shoulders.
Yeah.
He's already married the falcon while the hawk is digging in her claws on his shoulders right now, and it's creating a schism. Because what Berylane did, like Perrin exhausted himself going into the wolf dream trying to find hints of Fael to the point where he was near death. And they brought him back, and basically he slept in Berylane's tent overnight. And what you're beginning to see, at least with the Two Rivers men, is they all think that he just cheated on Fael with Berylane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which is not sitting well with all those men. So this is a plot that'll have some resolution at the end. But
she's.
But again, it's like,
so she's considered the hawk. Basically, I remember I asked this in the chat because I don't.
But
think
again,
it's ever addressed from beyond book 3.
Book 6, wizards who are going to go insane, turning invincible army of Aiel like super fighters into a meat grinder. That's our level of awesome action, and we're now reduced to basically, is Perrin cheating on his wife and his friends if they like think this is a good or bad thing? Like if you escalate the plot to a certain point, when you bring stuff back down to the mundane, the readers don't like it, and this is one of those things where it's just like, I never gave two shits about how the Coplans and the Lewins or whatever frickin' Two Rivers name, how they felt about Perrin. I don't care.
I will say I do think the resolution of this plotline is pretty great, though.
Yeah.
I loved it. I think
it's character moments, but it's just. Maybe I'm just being a bitch. I probably am. All right, I'll shut up for a minute.
Don't worry about it. All right, but yeah, so basically, Perrin, we find out that the Shido are going south, and everybody's basically split off and is doing their own search. Like Talonvor, I think, is doing his own search. Elias is doing his own search. Not Gowan. Gaul is doing his own search, because I think Bane and Chiad were captured as well.
Yeah.
So we also find out, who offers his hand as help? Massima, prophet of the dragon himself. And he's like, you know what? I'll go through that gate because you know what? Killing Aiel is the Lord's work. And I was just thinking of, how much Massima in the early books, he used to stare down at Rand all the time because Rand resembles an Aiel. And so that hatred never went away.
No.
That hatred never went away. I even forgot why, like, I didn't even know the Aiel were attacked all the way out. I forgot that they attacked all the way out in the Borderlands.
Well, the Borderlanders got involved in the Aiel War.
Oh, the Aiel War. Okay, and Ingtar was a veteran, and I'm guessing Massima was too.
Yeah.
So, all right, that makes sense. But yeah, so Massima's like, you know what? I didn't want to go through that gate. That gate was unholy because it's not the Dragon Reborn. But you know what? I'll kill some Aiel. Let's do this. Let's do this shit. Yeah. So I thought, I just liked how we get very little of Massima in the last two books. Like we see him at the very end of Path of Daggers, and we see him once again at the very end of this section of Winter's Heart. So hope we see more of him. Well, in the next one, I guess. Probably.
I think he's in book 10 a bit.
So, all right. Well, that's all the Perrin we get in this book. So I'm taking it this Fael stuff doesn't resolve until book 11. Am I right?
That would be correct.
That's what I thought. Or is it book 12?
No, it's book 11. Don't worry.
Book 11. All right. Yeah. So, all right. So, who else is there now? So there's those Cad Swain. There's those Cad Swain chapters that we get. Oh, we meet Tuon. We meet Tuon.
Yes.
So apparently, so Tuon is this this you know she's the daughter of the Nine Moons. She has an attendant named Seleucia, if I remember correctly,
Yes.
and I'm trying to remember. Is she like the daughter of the Empress? Do we know that? Do we know this for sure?
She is the daughter of the Empress, and Seleucia has a magnificent bosom.
Okay, yeah. All right. So Lucia has the Meg, and who's the other? Isn't there like another character that like speaks like on
Anath, the
Anath?
truth speaker, who basically says nothing but the truth and is a total bitch.
Interesting. Yeah, that's what I thought. Um, and we kind of learned that like like was it the Sean Chan have to like or like her family like her siblings are like a threat to her or something like that.
Yeah, because they're constantly trying to assassinate each other.
For the is that like encouraged or is that just something?
Yes, it is very much
I thought.
encouraged. It's like the Shanjan have a whole like survival of the fittest thing going on. Like their mindset
Is
that
it
if you
is it
kill
just is it just for like the head family, the Empress's family? May she live forever.
you should live forever.
See, I remember to say that.
Oh. You might,
But that's one thing I like. That's one thing I thought was funny. Every time they mention the Empress, oh, may she live forever.
yes.
You don't say it, you're in trouble. I'm trying to remember I'm trying to remember if there was anything worth talking about in this Tuon point of view chapter. I guess
Are we talking about Tuon specifically, or are we going to do the Matt?
Well, no, there's a whole chapter. It's called "What a Veil Hides." I'm looking at it right now. I didn't have a chance to review this one. I'm trying to remember if there was anything that we learned other than just the fact that she exists and that she is the daughter of the Nine Moons. And Sir Matt doesn't know about this yet. She's on her ship. I guess not. Oh well. So I guess we can just cut to Matt.
All right.
So Matt's back, and there's like a whole there's like a time jump basically.
Yeah.
And we meet once again. Aludra shows up in this very first part, and that's all we see of her. We don't really see her. We see her, and we see Valen Luca again. So I'm guessing she's part of the Luca circus because of her fireworks. Her fireworks.
Yeah, keep an eye on Aludra. She does some important stuff. So.
I'm assuming it has something to do with gunpowder. Probably.
That'll be a fair assumption.
So, so basically, we basically get like a recap. So like like a wall fell on Matt's leg or something like that. So now he's struggling to walk, and he's been doing his own version of rehabilitation. So he's trying to walk. He's trying to ride pips. Trying to ride pips just to just like once again recover. And then Tylan is still doing. I think Tylan's still doing her thing to him. She's forcing herself on him and all that.
Yeah.
And he just wants to get away. And I guess Oliver was okay the whole time because the way the last book, or the way Crown of Swords ended, he was trying to find Oliver.
Yeah.
Amongst the chaos as the Sean Chan were invading and destroying shit and attacking. So, but apparently Oliver's fine. We didn't really find out like how he found him or something, but I don't know. I was expecting a little more from the cliffhanger. So, oh well.
Yeah, that's understandable.
So, but that's fine, I guess. Yeah, so we get the basically Terracin Palace. He's still there. Now, the question is, does he finally leave? Does he finally leave out Abu Dar in the next book? Because he's been here since Lord of Chaos.
I mean, he's definitely gone in book 10. Yeah.
That's what I thought. So if I remember correctly, like I think he's just. We find out like there's guards all over the place, and we see more Soldan and Damani walking around, and
Oh yeah.
like Beslin wants to like lead a revolution.
Beslin wants to stab.
Beslin wants to lead a revolution.
Beslin. There's Rand, there's Roland, and then like right below that is Beslin.
Yeah.
As far as like best characters.
And we get like apparently like Tom's still here, Julian's still here.
Tom realizes like Oliver has a reading lesson.
Yeah,
right.
Was
Rizal and her magnificent bosom.
Magnificent.
And then Tom is like a notable achievement. Oliver. I usually have to like play a couple songs to get that.
I like Michael Kramer's Tom. He's got that really really deep voice
from the start, which is so good.
Yeah. So, what's up?
I was just gonna say there's a new side character in Matt's plotline as well, who's pretty important.
Yeah. So apparently, and this was a nice little. This was an unexpected encounter because that's the name of this chapter that I'm talking about. So apparently, a certain round 2 between Matt and a certain Golem shows up, and I forget. Doesn't he like drop something? And he ducks, and like the Golem fails to hurt him because of that.
It's his Taviran luck, basically. Like he stumbles and just so happens to avoid a deathly attack.
And this time the Golem is like, Golem's like, I'm not going to toy with you again. I'm going to kill you. And so like they're holding they're in a bit of a standoff, and then all of a sudden, this guy, this new character shows up, and the Golem's like, he's like, I have to be hidden. I was ordered to be hidden, but you won't be. I forget exactly what he says, but I forgot that the Golem can talk. I forgot the Golem actually did say stuff in Crown of Swords when they were fighting. So, but yeah, so we don't. So this is the only appearance of the Golem apparently in this. And then we find out that the Golem has been just. It's been like Jack. It was basically being Jack the Ripper and Abotar, just killing people.
It's meant to be like a vampire. I'm pretty sure.
Well, he's drinking blood.
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, okay, Dracula, I guess, but just drinking up, sucking up all the blood and ripping up people's throats. Isn't that like its main kill?
Hey, it's MacGruber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, ripping out someone's throat is a pretty effective way of killing them.
I guess. I mean, so apparently, I liked how like Matt freaked out when he actually witnessed how the Golem morphs into like a snake in order to go through like the little brick hole in the wall or something like that. So,
well, there's also a really fun clue here, although it's not really a clue for anything. It's just me and my indulgence. But what he notes to Noel afterwards, have you ever seen anything like that? And what does Matt say? Yes, I have, in Shadow Logoth.
What, the Golem?
Yeah.
No,
he says to Noel, have you ever seen something do something like that? Like stretch
he had more death.
Exactly. So here's the question for you, Nerdporial. Is Mordeth a Golem?
That's a good question. I would say no, because he turns into smoke, if I remember correctly.
Who knows what a Golem can do after 1,000 years or more? But it's one of those fun things that like RJ is basically just like spreading a seed, and it could be kind of unreliable narrator or misinfo. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I always liked it.
The like I'm trying to remember the history like behind was it Eridol. Is that the name of the original?
Yeah, it's
is that the original name?
Eridol. Yeah.
Eridol. Now, did Mordif just like come out of nowhere, basically, and just say, "Hey, I'll help
Hey,
you. I'll help you defend against the shadow or something."
Exactly.
And then, of course, it creates this whole other, this other evil that that now is stuck with Pan Fane.
The evil of suspicion.
Yeah. Or the evil of committing evil against evil.
It's almost as if
basically
fantasy stories like use morality as like a key plot point. So
like
anyway,
I compare, like, if you ever seen Babylon 5, I compare, like, the standard evil, the Dark One's evil, to like the shadows, and of course the other evil, the evil that's trying to that thinks it's good and is trying to purge the other evil. I would, like, from the Vorlon side, I would say it's kind of like that almost, fighting fire with fire, fighting evil with evil. Basically, you're all evil. So, but the political situation here, since the Sean Chan took over, takes over Ebadar. High Lady Suroth is basically in command, and she's basically commanding Thailand to do her bidding or something. And apparently, from what I've been hearing and from what I've been reading, the because of, like, you had all that civil war, people were being killed by like bandits and all that. People were, there was bad actors, taking advantage of the situation. The Sean Chan come in and they basically bring order back. And so as they say in Game of Thrones, the small folk, or the commoners, farmers,
The peasantry.
they're happy. They're happy. It's things are safe again. They can go about their lives in peace.
Yeah.
And now I'm remembering from my Great Hunt streams why everybody was saying the Sean Chan were pretty solid, because at that point at that point in the story, I mean, all I saw was how they treated channelers. They treated the Demani like they're dogs. I mean, they literally call them kennels. Now, okay, I got a question here. Are the kennels basically quarters, or do they just call them kennels because that's where Demani are, or do they actually have like cages or really small?
You see that in this book, right? Because Matt is trying to organize his escape, and at the end of it, he does, right? He goes up to the Sean Chan kennels, where they have Jolene, well, not Jolene. They have Teslin, right?
Yeah,
Teslin's up there, and then there's also the
Edicina is the other one.
Edicina is the yellow that was sent to Tanchico by the Saladar Aes Sedai, so she's another one.
Mm-hmm.
They have to give up on some other Aes Sedai that are basically like too far gone. And there's all the sea folk up there, but they're not kind of like in a cage. They have their rooms.
Are those the sea folk that were like the ones that that were on the ship in the harbor? And,
they're wind find. So they captured those who could channel, right? That's kind of up there.
Yeah.
But in essence, they call it a kennel. It's an attic, but it's a bedroom. It's not like, hey, we're going to keep you in a cage and make you drink from a dog bowl kind of thing. But it is like you have the idom, you have the collar around your neck, and it's tied to a leash, tied to a wrist piece that's on a peg, and you can't basically move from that.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's still pretty messed up.
It's still pretty. The only thing that you could maybe watch to kind of get this dynamic is like the Caligula movie by what's his nuts, the pornographer. What's his name? I forget. There's a movie called Caligula starring like Malcolm McDowell, or whatever, from way back. That had this whole kind of leash bondage fetishism kind of built into him. I bet you RJ saw it and basically used it as inspiration for the Sean Chan. It's fucked up beyond all recognition.
Okay, I've heard of that, but I haven't seen it.
Three different directors, so I don't know which one you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Tinto Brass, Bob Giacchini, Giancarlo.
Yeah, Bob Guccione, his Caligula is basically what was used as inspiration for the Shanchan. It's messed up.
So, I'm trying to remember how he meets Tuon for the first time.
He walks into the meeting with his rapist.
Grapist.
Grapist.
Let's keep it PG.
Okay. He walks in thinking that.
He walks in.
Tell her off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
And the dice stop.
Yeah.
Okay, dice. All right. Okay, something I didn't. Okay. One thing that started. I think it was this book that started this. So now, I think I don't know if it happened to Perrin. It might have happened to Perrin. I don't remember. I don't recall, but I know it happens to Rand and Matt. Whenever they think about the other Taveran, they start seeing colors.
It happens to eventually. It happens to all three, but yes. So if they start thinking about each other, they'll see colors, and eventually those colors will resolve into images of each other.
I'm curious where that's going to go. I'm taking it to read and find out.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, I'm guessing that they're seeing this because they're getting closer to the end of the story. I could be wrong.
And this is a way that the Taviran can kind of semi-coordinate with each other.
Communicate.
They can't communicate, but Rand knows, like, yeah, they're fine. Like, he knows they're alive.
So he basically can feel their presence, or he can see their presence,
and roughly where they're at.
Okay, all right, that makes sense. Which explains, because they were like, I think especially in Path of Daggers, they were like, "Where's Matt?" It's like, Matt's fine.
Wait, we didn't know.
Wow. Well, I swear they said, I swear he said, and yeah. So he says, he's like, they're fine. So I'm guessing, was it happening the whole time, and RJ just didn't make it clear until now, or did it just start now at this point in the story, them experiencing these things?
The experience it's beginning now that you're picking up on it. So it was
they're making
never
sense of it for the first time now.
Wasn't there kind of something between Rand and Perrin in right before?
I'm live right now. Talk later.
Right before, not Lord of Chaos. Sorry, I can't think right now. It's
not explicit. If it happens
he,
early,
feeling a pull towards him then too.
Oh yeah, they Perrin feels like Rand needs me, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's not like as soon as he thinks of Rand, he's able to see an image of what Rand is doing.
So this just
that's
feels
what comes out.
This just feels like an escalation of what was already there. They've already kind of been connected together, and now that the last battle is getting closer, it's more intense.
Yeah,
that's how I envisioned that.
But Rand and Matt seeing visions of Rand at this will happen in the next book. It's the smallest of spoilers, but you already know, Brian, that in Crossroads, every other character experiences Chodan Kalde, right? Because said event.
So all the other storylines, the parent stuff, the Matt stuff, the Elaine stuff, and we didn't even really get a Egwene in this.
Oh, you will.
Yeah.
We see her in a couple of chapters, but yeah,
But in essence, what happens early on in Crossroads is like, all right, everybody in Perrin's camp that is channel, like, Satan inside our sensitive is like something fucking huge is happening. We don't know what to do. And then Perrin's like, all right, he thinks of Rand, and then he sees Rand kneeling on a hill with like a statue. And he's like, Rand's doing this. It's fine. Let's keep going. Right? So that's like the new ability of Matt and Rand is basically Matt, Ren, and Perrin is to see each other if they concentrate on them.
Mm-hmm. That's why. Yeah. Okay. That's what I figured. So, so my question is, does him starting this, Matt starting this, this rescue of those Aes Sedai, I forget why. I forget because I know he talks like what's her name, Jolene. She's the one that doesn't get caught, and she's like freaking out and all that. I forget. Wasn't there a letter that he received from one of them? And
in the
I
last
forget
book.
what was the contents of that letter. It was like a warning or something.
So what happened was it was a warning. It was that Elida was after the two of them. But what he said to Jolene was he misrepresented the context in which the letter was delivered to him.
Mm-hmm.
And Jolene gave a typical Aes Sedai answer that, like, whatever you do for us, like, all debts will be settled when I'm out of the city, is what Jolene said. And Matt was smart enough to realize, fuck, Jolene did not send me the warning. The person I actually owe is Teslin. Yeah. And that's why he decides, I got to go rescue Teslin.
I love that chapter is called 3 Women, too. It's just Matt getting, progressively more and more annoyed at all of the,
that's gonna be a lot of Matt's chapters.
At all of the crap he has to carry on his back, like this entire freaking series. That's the best part about Matt is his. He just gets screwed over and over and over again.
I liked how
by the stupid women in his life.
I liked how during that initial encounter, Tuon offers to buy him from Thailand, if I remember correctly. Yeah, and I liked how at the end of this whole thing, Thailand's like, you know what? I'm going to be angry at you. And I'm going to let her buy you. I'm going to let Tuon buy you.
There's also the part where she wants to buy the Ashendari, and he's just like, "I'll pay you like twice or 10 times," and then he basically pulls down his scar and be like, "You'd be a fool to like buy it even once, much less like
that's
more."
not a price you should like to pay once."
Yeah, twice that. Yeah,
such a good line. Matt's the best character in the whole. He's so good. He's the best boy.
Trying to remember what other stuff. Trying to remember what other stuff in this early.
Well, don't Matt and Tuon interact again later on when Matt is doing his?
She keeps stalking. She stalks him.
She keeps staring at him. He keeps looking over his shoulder, and she's there. They do have a conversation though. When did they talk?
It's like, I'm trying to be vague because I don't know if this is early next book or end of this book. I'm pretty sure it's end of this book.
I liked how in this one, like when I was reading this, I'm like, how is this?
Several times.
How is this going to end? And then I was just like, you know what? He hasn't asked her yet, because he's been asking like every woman he gets involved with, like ever since Fires of Heaven. He asks like, hey, does the Daughter of the Nine Moons mean anything to you? No, I'm just a waitress. So, but he didn't think to ask. He didn't think to ask him this time. So, I knew he wasn't going to figure it out. I knew he was going to be like. I knew it was going to be someone. Someone's going to say, you don't handle the Daughter of the Nine Moons that way. I think it was Egianan. So, yeah. We get them. We get Egianan, and
you've just hogtied the Daughter of the Nine Moons. What are you doing? Petrified.
So we get them back. We get Bale and Egianan, and we get who's that other one? Who's that other one that they tied in the Shadow Rising? Bethamin, I think was her name.
Bethamin, Rena, or Seta, who cares? But Brian, I hope you do realize exactly why Matt never asked Tuon if she was the Daughter of the Nine Moons. Because she was not plump. She did not have a good set of tits.
She was
she was not his type, yo.
He wasn't interested.
He was not interested. It's like he goes to like
he was really hoping
every
she
like
wasn't the daughter of the Nine Moons.
every single like tavern girl or whatever that he'd usually be interested in, like, hey, daughter of the Nine Moons, does that mean anything to you? They're like, no. It's like, perfect. Let's go. Awesome. But like, yeah, Tuon, not his type. Except like, you'll see. There's like an Anakin Padme type. No, that was worse. There's a weird courtship that happens coming up.
So basically, Bethaman is like one of the trainers of Tessie, and she suspects that Tessie is kind of playing along instead of being really being authentically demonic. So they're like, oh, I'm going to make this harder. I'm going to break her, because that's what they do. That's what they do. They try to break the spirit. And of course, we run back into Rena and Seta. I forget what was I. So Seta was also in the Great Hunt. Rena and Seta were bonded to the same Adam or something.
No, those were the two that were kind of like involved with Egwene, right? And I think Rena especially was like
Rena was her tormentor.
Yeah. Seta was the other one. Bethaman was the one who found out about the two.
Yeah.
And Bethaman was the one that I think Aegyanan had in the basement back in book 4.
Yeah. And so now we find out that that there's a seeker, and I'm assuming this is the same seeker from the Shadow Rising.
Yes.
So the seeker has wants Bethaman to basically report on anything that Aegyanan tells her, basically.
Yeah.
So I think we find out, that Aegyanan Aegyanan finds out, I mean, she comes clean and says, there's a seeker after you and blah blah blah, and she's like, that explains why I got the assignment that I got, because she was I think she was assigned to Ebodar, and then she was supposed to wait for further instructions. I don't think she ever got them. I think that was what was going on. Now she's considered blood. Was she always the blood, or do you earn, like, do you have to be like, is it always blood related to be blood?
No, you can get raised to the low blood. Like everything within the Shanshan, if you were of high enough ability, you could probably get raised very, very high.
Mm-hmm.
But she was not of the blood, and she got raised to the low blood.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so the guy's name is Elmer. What was his name? Elmerat Moore. Yeah, Elmerat Moore.
That's a seeker, right?
Yeah, the seeker of truth. Everybody's like terrified of these guys. And I think this guy was like, he isn't he like considered what's a slave term? Dojin.
Sojin.
Sojin. Yeah. And Sojin can rise up to the point where they can like order around free people or something. That never really made sense to me.
Well, everything RJ's doing here, he's borrowing from like historical like context. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the Sojin, not necessarily the Dakovali, the people who are owned, but the Sojin, people have sworn their life to someone higher up. If you are Sojin to like the Empress, you're basically a rung below them in kind of authority, right? Okay. I answer to the Empress. If you are a noble and you also answer to the Empress, but you have quasi-independence, right? You are a noble, you have your own, but that's the Empress's agent, right?
Would this apply to Joseph from Genesis?
You're asking an atheist, so I don't know.
I guess I need Pips here for that.
Yeah. Sorry, what was your question? Is this
No, it's so basically what it is. If you are Sojin to, depending how high up you are, like if you are a property,
I'm not hearing you. You're going in and
You're
out.
covered in water again.
Oh fuck!
Wait, no, I think you're good.
I think Robin's messing with him.
If you are a Sojin and you answer to the Empress and the Empress alone, and you are loyal to the Empress and the Empress alone,
Mm-hmm.
you have the authority to basically ask everybody below the Empress whatever you want.
Okay.
If you fuck up because you're Sojin to the Empress, yeah, the Empress could have you executed, right?
So okay. So they're like a special type of. I mean,
They're like a secret police, and everybody below the Empress is terrified of them because they basically have that authority, but they do not have any power for themselves. Right?
okay.
They're still slaves, right?
But they can okay. So but they can still they can order people around on the authority of the Empress in this case.
And if they fuck up, right? If a seeker, whatever, fucks up
And their life is
asks the wrong,
forfeit.
right?
Okay, that makes sense. And then you said the Dakavale are basically
Like they're like regular slaves.
regular
essentially.
slaves. Okay, and
Those
I
who are
think in
owned.
this case, Bail Doman is a Sojin to Egiana.
Yep.
All right, and they're having copious amounts of sex.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the Sojin stuff's based off like what the Romans and the Greeks did, like with their slaves. I think that's what it's based off. But yeah,
I don't know, Dane. You have the
point.
entire history of the Roman Empire. You could answer that.
To a point. So it's basically if Julius Caesar or Augustus had a slave, like they would not have this level of authority. If you were a Roman citizen of good standing, even if the emperor came at you with a slave being like, answer my slave, you would refuse and talk to the emperor. I think there's more of an Asian vibe with this, more of a Grand Vizier type vibe. If we're talking about Near East kind of Ottoman, Arab style
Grand Vizier.
autocrats.
Should I say Agrabah from Aladdin? Okay.
Not really.
I'm kidding.
But
I'm kidding.
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
It's basically once the bureaucracy is controlled by the slave class, like that's what it's kind of about. With the Shanchan in particular, it's like Sojin. There's an interesting thing in history of very influential people who were ultimately slaves of someone who was in a higher position of power, but was less influential.
Mm-hmm.
Right, especially the Ottoman Empire is like the case study of this, whereas basically the sultans from period to period, didn't really control what was happening because they were off in their harems, fucking 50 different chicks every night, and the people who actually ran the empire were the eunuchs who were slaves but controlled all the power.
Yeah. Okay. So apparently, to kind of get us back to this. So apparently, the seeker here is trying to investigate what the hell happened in Falmouth.
Yeah.
Like who killed High Lord Turok, and he thinks Suroth is suspect.
Oh, he has a wild conspiracy theory, and it's fucking great.
So I'm curious where this is going to go.
It's great. It'll pay off. Like,
okay, that's what I want to hear.
Just remember, it'll pay off like book 11.
All right, I'll keep that one in mind. So, like we said, we talked about Egianan and Bale. They're just I think isn't he trying to get? Isn't she planning on releasing him, and he wants to get a ship again, but he doesn't have the money yet or something?
Two worst characters of the whole fucking series don't give a shit.
Really?
Yeah.
That bad? Okay.
Only gets worse from here, bud.
I don't remember what happens with them, so I'm trying to think now.
Staple Bro knows what's up.
To an extent.
No one's disagreeing.
What happens? I'm trying to.
Well, I'm assuming that this whole thing with the Seeker is like is all connected with them. I mean, obviously they're trying to get the Seeker off of them. They're trying to get out. They're trying to get
Yeah, so this is what pushes Eggianen and Bail Doman towards Matt.
Yeah.
And it's Eggianen who has leverage over Bethaman, who has leverage over Reda and Seta, that end up getting the three of them as like the three Soldom that they need to get Jolene, Teslin, and Edicina out of the kennels.
Yeah.
So it's Taviran-ness. Like this is what's happening in front of you.
Yeah, I liked how like this whole time Matt's just like really trying, like at least the first couple of chapters, he's trying really hard to plan to plan this properly and trying to get like get in the dom, get some some Soldom costumes, well not costumes, outfits basically, so that they can pull this off. And like they thought they could get I think they initially thought that they could have someone who wasn't like a Soldom wear the Adam and put it on the Damani, but it ended up causing it caused Jolene a lot of pain. So that idea was scrapped, if I remember correctly. I think that's what it was, right? Like if you have the Adam controlled by someone who's not a Soldom, it will cause just like automatic pain to the Damani or to the channeler.
I don't remember.
Could you repeat that one more time, and I can tell you?
If someone tries to use the IDOM who does
So the IDOM was used.
Yes.
IDOM was used.
I was off in the other room.
Yeah. So
Brian, you're 100% correct. That's exactly what happens.
Because they tried to get the innkeeper. They're trying to get, what was her name, Mistress Anan, to pose as a Soldom, and they put on Jolene. And Jolene was screaming screaming in pain the entire time. They had to take.
So Matt's original plan was not going to work precisely for this reason. So yes, the only way that someone who is collared, a Damane, can move right far with their leash is if a Soldom controls it. Because otherwise, it would be way too easy to break a Damani out. Like if anyone could pick up the collar portion of the leash and basically like, let's run for the hills, right? They'd all escape, right?
So it's not just pain. It's basically immobilization.
Yeah, well, it's debilitating, right? You can't get them out. Imagine you are a Damane farm wife and your daughter basically gets captured as Damane or basically tested, and she's going to be Damane, and you're like, I don't want her to be like a dog, and I'm going to break her out, but I don't know how to channel, but I'm going to pick up that leash and we're going to escape and then figure it out. Like it wouldn't work from that point. But yes, in essence, what they figure out, Matt's original plan is, I'll just have people pose as Soldom to get my Damani out. Then he realizes he has a fucking problem when he tries it with Setelanon and Jolene, and then the solution falls into his lap because he is Tavir.
Yep.
That makes sense. And of course, they manage to, they meet up with, like we said, Eggianen and everything, and they're able to execute the plan. I think we already talked about that, didn't we? They execute the plan. Matt waits. I kind of like that build up in the last two chapters. Matt waits. It's raining, and he talks to the one channeler. So one of the issues that he has in this, they're like, why don't you release everybody? Well, you can't, because like you said, like, Seta and Pura and whoever these other Damani are, they're broken. They're just going to scream for their Sultan.
Yeah.
So, and there's not enough time to find out if there's people that are still that they're Damani that are still with it. So he tries it on that one Windfinder. I forget her name. And it works. And she's like, "Oh, you helped me. I will never break," or something because of that. And then I think he leaves her. He's like, "Oh, can you wait for like a few hours?" She's like, "Yeah." And that was like the nicest. That was the nicest. That was the nicest in Athan Mir was in this entire couple books. Like, they're all mean. They're all terrible.
Surprised they didn't try to attack Matt after he saved them. Jeez.
Yeah. So. And then after that, then Thailand shows up, and then, she smacks him. I forget what she do. She pulls him by the hair and then she smacks him. It's like, that's for trying to leave without me, or leave without telling me, or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he ties her up. He ties her up and he puts her in the bed. Puts her under the bed as a result. And then I accidentally found out what happens to her in the next book.
Yeah, it's a good payoff.
It's very satisfying.
I accidentally found out what happens to her. I was like, oh crap. Yeah. So, and then after that is, he comes. Tuan was stalking him the whole time, and she starts to fight him, and he's like, oh my gosh, she's tough. She's this little thing, but she's really gonna break my nose if I'm not careful. And then what's his name? Noel helps him, and Noel knows how to put a girl into a hold.
Noel's very experienced. All right, he's a very cool guy.
I think I have an idea who Noel might be. So, but yeah, I whenever he turns up, I'm like, does this arc get even more interesting going forward?
Yes.
Okay, all right, that's what I wanted to hear. So I'm liking this. I'm liking this
Noel's
character.
one of my favorite side characters. I love Noel.
Okay,
Great.
all right. So I have a list. I have a suspect that I think I know who he is, and we haven't heard that name in a while. So I'm not going to say here. I might have already said. I don't know.
I don't think you have. No.
But you don't mess with the daughter of the Nine Moons. And he's like, she's my wife. You're like, what did you say? He's like, she's my wife. You can't say that. Why not?
She's my wife.
The bloody daughter of the bloody Nine Moons is my bloody wife.
Yeah,
Hey, watch your freaking language, Alan.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, we're keeping the stream PG.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure Matt says it 3 times, which
3 times.
Might want to pay attention to that, but.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they get what's her name too? I forgot it was her. Amathera, the Panarch. Julian rescues her too.
Yeah.
Or she's the one that Julian is doing stuff with.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Matt
I didn't even realize that. Holy crap.
Matt just shows up and he's there with her, and it's like thumb wars. I escaped somehow. Let's go.
So now Tuan and her people are his prisoners. So what's going to happen next? Well, I got to read the next book to find out. So, but yeah, I think. Is there anything left with Matt that I didn't bring up that you guys recall?
I think that's it. Did you get? I can't remember if that was this book or like Matt or book 7, but didn't Matt buy a ring? Was that last book? No, that was book 7.
That's when he's following Millie Skane.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he accidentally gets stuck on it. He can't take it off, and he pays for it and he leaves to stay on her trail and all that. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it seems like that's it. So I guess only thing that's left is Rand and Cad Swain. So So apparently, on the Cat Swain side of things, so basically all the Aes Sedai that were prisoners, I think, swear to Rand, swear fealty to Rand, and all that.
Yeah.
I forget. Is when they swear fealty? Is that basically like another Oath-Rod type of fealty where they can't?
No, he didn't do it on the Oath Rod. He just made them promise, and it's kind
Yeah,
of
but
relying on their.
they're bound by
they
the
can't
third
lie.
oath, though. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, that makes sense. And I forget, like Varen had an interesting. I think Varen had an interesting role. Varen was like the one character that Cat Swain didn't talk down to in this entire book.
Yeah.
And for good reason, because Baron is awesome.
Yeah, I'm really curious. I want to see her like entire story like unravel basically. Like I'm curious what her mistake was and how it resolves basically.
It's a very good resolution.
I thought her character was interesting since since the Great Hunt, with she figures out that that Suan and Moraine are harboring the Dragon Reborn, and both of them freak the hell out. And they're about to murder her. And then and then she just turns up and she becomes part of the she becomes part of the hunt for the horn, and then she goes with them into when they get transported to Falma. So they go through the whole flicker thing, and you're curious, I'm curious, if she changed at all because of going through the flicker, and kind of like how we suspect that Intart changed because of that as well. So,
I don't think she changed explicitly because of that. I think maybe that gave her more insight to herself, but.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, just let me see. I'm trying to remember what chapter. What chapter was that?
Yeah. Varen's been cool. She's been doing cool stuff for a long time. You'll find out.
Yeah. No, not this one. Oh no, yeah, this one. Oh, let's see. Oh, we find out that Flynn, one of the Ashaman, was able to heal one of the stilled Aes Sedai.
Yeah, good old Damer Flynn. Love that guy.
Which is he, the old man, Damer Flynn?
Yeah, he is the older guy. He's like in his 50s, I think.
Okay, I think he's at the battle.
Yeah.
I think it was. I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but it was Demandred of all people that tried to engage him, and he was able to hold off Demandred. So we'll get to that final fight.
Yeah, but Damer Flynn's like the best male healer in the series. It's really...
So what this establishes, Brian, is basically that a man healing a woman being stilled restores them to full power.
Yeah.
Whereas a woman,
because I remember because of the fact that Nynaeve heals Suwan and Lyanna, and they came out less because of the fact.
But Logain is back to full power.
Because
now we have the opposite side. So Damer Flynn figures out exactly what Nynaeve did, but healed the sisters back to full power. So basically, if you've been stilled, or gentled, right? If you've been severed, as they call it in the Age of Legends, you have to get kind of rectified by someone from the opposite sex in order for it to bring you back to full power.
Which kind of falls in place with the main theme of this series, which is men and women, male and female, need each other. They complement each other.
Yeah.
So, I mean, which is facts. So, but yeah, makes total sense here. And so we still have Narishma is with them. I forget the boy's name. The young
Evan.
Evan. Okay, yeah.
You can't forget his name. Rishma wouldn't like that.
There's so many names. There's so many, like, I forgot the name of the one that Rand puts down.
Fedwin.
Fedwin, yeah. So like this is, yeah. I mean, when I think about that, you know, like he puts down Fedwin, and then of course, you know, Evan gets killed at the end. It just, I mean, I don't know if you guys thought of this. I thought of this because, you know, like a lot of young people went to Vietnam and didn't come back. They died, you know, fighting. And I don't know if it has anything to do with that, but that was just how because we all know Robert Jordan, you know, fought in Vietnam. And that's kind of what I took away from the idea of really young, you know, soldiers getting killed in this.
That's fair.
So I don't know. But I felt bad. I actually felt bad for both these characters. So and I think they have Shallan and Shallan. There's a couple of chapters this leads into like a couple of Shallan chapters where they're like on their way to Farmatting.
Farmatting's just such a lovely place.
So Farmatting is basically a city. It's basically a, you know, it's a city, but unlike typical American cities, where there's security, there's no security, or where there's like they have security, they have a police force that's like, you know, that will be there within like a few seconds if they hear channeling or any trouble with, you know, weapons. Not the case here. They're to just let the criminals do whatever they want. But you're not allowed to defend yourself in Farmatting. Is Farmatting like its own kingdom? Like it's not part of Ilion? Because I know it's like a you have Camelot here, you have Farmatting here, you have Ilion here, and you have Tyr there. So you got like it's like this. It's got like this.
Is Farmatting an actual steading?
No.
No, there's like a ter'angreal.
Okay.
I think.
I remember the book was like, it's like a steading inside of a steading. And I was like, but is it an actual one or is it like one?
It's like one. It's all from the ter'angreal, the Guardian. It's a city-state now, but it's been a bigger power in the past.
So
it's a gynocracy. So basically, the men from Farmatting
ruled by gynecologists.
Yeah, kind of, or not gynecology, but like people with vaginas. Gynocracy. It's a real word. I'm not making it up.
How's that different from a matriarchies? Got it.
Yeah,
it's a democracy of women.
Yeah, except for the vaginaocracy of Farmatting. But like some of our favorite Aes Sedai are from Farmatting, including Varen and Catswain.
Oh yeah, that's right. Varen used an alternate name this time. So apparently she's wanted by the authorities here in Farmatting.
I think you get wanted in Farmatting for breathing the wrong way. So
okay, fair. But I think they go there because Alana. I think Alana leads them there because they're trying to find Rand, basically.
Yeah.
So they're able to track Rand with Alana. The reason why Rand is in Farmatting is because it's like a big city with a steading effect, and he figures they could kill off Kissman, Roshade, Torval, Gedwin without the power.
Yeah.
Easiest way.
Punisher.
Because these guys basically learn nothing but the power and are fucking assholes with everything else, whereas he has trained in hand-to-hand combat with Ruark.
Well, didn't they have to learn the sword forms in order to become Ashaman?
No,
because I remember
that was Rand's insistence. But these guys who are Tame's butt boys no fucking way that they ever bother to learn the sword. Like, he even notes on this in Path of Daggers, right?
Yeah,
Which-
he left a lot of instructions that Tame didn't
Ignored.
always follow.
Which explains why they were so clumsy. Like he literally punches the guy in the. I think he doesn't. He punch the dude in the neck.
Mm.
He punches the dude in the neck, and then what's the other dude's name? That tries to jump and do this, and he accidentally kills. Was it Rochade?
Probably Rochade. I mean, their names
This
all kind
was
of blend
this
together.
was probably my favorite chapter in the whole book, chapter 22.
It's a good chapter, yeah.
Kisman. His name's Kisman.
Kisman.
The other dude was Kisman, and the first guy was
Edwin?
Rochade. Yeah,
Oh, no, Rochade.
Rochade and Kisman. Yeah. So they find in an alley. I was just thinking, like, really dark alley, something like out of Elden Ring. And then of course he's about to fight him, and then they hear the whistles. So it was all set up that the guards have like these whistles or something, or these drums that they call on, saying, "Oh, we're coming," and all that, it's like their alarm or something. And then they're like, "We'll do this another time." And then we go to Kisman's point of view, and Kisman recalls him being ordered to kill the Dragon Reborn from the Mahio, from Demandred, from Moradin. And then all of a sudden we hear all of a sudden he's like, I forget, it's like somebody speaks in his ear and then stabs him. He feels like a sting or like a prick or something like that, and then he dies. And what's funny, for a second I thought that was I didn't even realize that. I thought it was Slayer at first. I thought like the bad guys changed their mind and Slayer was ordered to kill him. But then I was like, wait a minute, maybe it's Pan Fane.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought it was Slayer first too.
Because we get a Slayer point of view
Slayer
right
goes
after this.
here,
I was like,
yeah.
okay. So that was a misdirect. That was a misdirect. I should have saw that.
It was totally Pat and Fane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gross.
So I have a question. I've been thinking about this. Does Pat Fane still have like the sniff? Not the sniff, but he still like has the bloodhound.
But it's for Rand only. That's the only one he's like able to track now.
Not Perrin or Man.
He does not go after Perrin. He does not go after Matt. He's basically got a keen nose sight for Rand. That's why he keeps showing up.
So he never lost that ability. He still has that ability.
Yes and no, because Brandon Sanderson kind of forgot about this.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Sanderson kind of forgot Fane existed for. And to Robert Jordan also.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that explains why Pan Fane turns up and freaking. What was the name of it? Was it Bramwood that where he stabs Rand in the Crown of Swords? Was it Bramwood?
It's not Bramwood, but it's the woods to the west of to the east of Kyrian. Yeah, so he's in there, right?
Okay. So he basically writes a letter to Rand, and they're like, he's like, I know you're here, and I like how they knew it was a trap. He's like, this is where these two guys are, and do your thing and leave. And then, of course, he gets there. The two are already dead, and then Pan Fane tries to fight him with a dagger, and he's got the sword. I thought that was a little awkward, but at least he didn't get stabbed this time. He was ready for it. He was ready for it, at least.
Yep.
And then he slashes. Pan Fane tries to use time travel, like a time travel illusion. So, like, we see the two Ashaman coming up the stairs, even though they're dead. I was like, what the hell's going on here? And then Rand just didn't fall for it, and he slashed. I think he slashed Pan Fane, and Pan Fane fled. And then they tried to flee, and they fell And what was that guy's name again? What was the other? Torum Rioton was there, and he was fighting Lan. I would have wanted to see. I said this earlier. I would have wanted to shift to them. I wanted to see. I would have loved to see, Lan take out another Blade Master.
That's fair.
I don't know.
Fair, but it's also kind of cool that like
There's a little
Lan defeats another Blade Master, and it's just like he shrugs it off.
Oh yeah, I got this blood stain on my. He got a blood stain on his shirt. Yeah, he's dead. I was like, that's it.
He got me once. I killed him.
And they try to flee via the roof. How they got in? So Nynaeve uses the power to use the force. She uses the force to raise Rand, and I forget. Like, how did she? Like, what was it? Like an Angriel or a Terangriel that was able to circumvent
the Terangriel called a well. That's part of her set that she discovered or what she took, like with her belt and her amulet or whatever. One of them is a well. Yeah. It's akin to the Eye of the World. The Eye of the World was also a well, just much, much, much bigger.
It's the same one that she gives to Catswain, right, at the end of this book, because she's using the Choden Call.
I think Catswain has her own.
Or she's using the Axis.
Catswain has her own.
She gives it to one of the Aes Sedai because she's like, well, I got a stronger one. So
I think she gives it to Olivia for a little bit.
She gives her whole collection to Olivia, which is why Sindane notes at the end that like this one is stronger than I am, like ever was. Must have an Angriel. The whole point of the well mechanics of being able to channel from a source other than the true source because you filled something up before and therefore it works in a place like Formatting, could work potentially in a setting, but that's also what the Eye of the World was. The Eye of the World was the biggest well ever made, but it was a pure source of Sidene. Like that, to make it pure, a lot of the Aes Sedai who set up the Eye of the World died because they basically absorbed the taint into themselves and then went completely nuts and had to get killed. But what they assured was within the well of the Eye of the World was clean. So it's that mechanic.
Okay.
What Nynaeve has here is much, much smaller, but it operates under the same principles.
Yeah. Okay. And so because of that, because of that, they're able to get onto the roof, and then they try to get off the roof, and Lan and Rand fall, and then they get caught. And I think, despite despite that, like the well is still detected by Formatting, basically by the Terangriel. Is it the Terangriel that they have that detects it? Or do they have another system? I forget what it was.
They had like a compass that would like point to anyone channeling. How on earth did Nynaeve not know that was going to be a dumb thing to do?
So Nynaeve did not know about the Guardian. Uh-huh. She did not know about what Formatting had or didn't have.
Yeah,
that's what Catswain knew.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
It was
she only knew that like her thing was a well, and all of a sudden she could fill it up outside, bring it into Formatting, and they'd have something. But she had no idea that would set off alarm bells at the highest level of the Formatting political authority and chase them down.
Got it.
Makes sense. Yeah. All right. So Rand falls, and then Rand is put in a tiny. Was that a prison?
Yeah. He's in a cell. It reminds him of the box he was in. Gives him all that PTSD that he had before. And he
starts thinking about like all the women that died for him, basically. So.
Yeah. His list.
And then Catswain comes in and has to do something that she didn't want. She never really wanted to do, and that's basically she revealed that she had her own well or something to the Gyna council.
Yeah. So Brian, this is the first really big hint that the reason why Catswain is able to act like the bitch that she is since she was introduced in like Crossroads is all those Terangrial that she has in her hair, right?
Yeah.
All of her little chimes, because we've established that one of them is basically a well. Well, it's also established maybe later, but it's safe to assume that one of them is an Angreal. And there are other things that are in that web of Terangreal that she has that basically makes her Superman. If Rand lost his shit and decided to fucking balefire Cadsuane, Rand would get fucked up.
Really?
Yeah. Really.
Okay.
That's how impervious to basically everything Cadsuane is.
Is that also
And
why
that-
she's really old too? Isn't she like the oldest?
Why she's old, but it explains her character to a T and why she's so insufferable. She isn't just Moraine times 2. This is a woman who knows like nothing can touch her.
Interesting. Is this something that we find out more in later books?
Yeah, you'll find out some specifics, but every single one of those chimes in her hair, those little dangly things, does something.
Okay.
So one of them is a well, another one is an Angreal that makes her super fucking powerful, like Forsaken tier, and there are other ones that have similar properties to Angreal or Terangreal that we've already seen.
Mm-hmm.
I did like the conversation that
like
she has
Matt's
with the
fox
jailers.
head, just so you know.
What's up, Alan?
I liked the conversation she had with the jailers. She's like, "Are we just gonna pretend like you don't know who you have?"
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was good.
And then she reveals her thing, and then they're like, "Okay, let's let him go." And then, of course, now is the big moment. They leave the city.
They update the records to pretend like none of them were ever there.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, good. Thanks
Because
for
they
reminding
just
me.
want them to leave.
Yeah. You hit the Dragon Reborn here? Oh my gosh.
And you put him in jail.
Yeah. And now we're in the final chapter. We're in the Choden Hall.
I swear to God, the only satisfying part of these chapters is essentially that Hareen did Togara 2 moons and all the fucking retinue and all her fucking titles of basically when she announced herself to Farmatting and they wrote it all down has now been stricken from the record.
Oh yeah.
So everything that she said that she was, and now like upon exit, they have to make sure it's all blotted out.
Mm-hmm. Because they're all dealing with Elida's mandate, right? So they don't want to, because they're kind of politically neutral, right? The city, and so they
Trying
don't want
to
get in trouble.
But the order is like the greatest of greatest sea folk has made it to Farmatting, and for 30 seconds they listed off all her titles, and she felt good about it, and now all erased.
They're whited out.
Perfect. I love it.
Nice. All right, so we're outside the city, and Rand starts his plan. So the question is, how did he know to do all that? How did he know to create to go to Shader Logoth, to go to to create that that conduit of Sidar,
so
and funneling the Sidene through
I think
a couple of things.
Yeah.
So his mission to Farmatting was to try and reduce as many of the people who'd come at him regardless. Right.
Yes,
so he wanted to draw the Ashman out. So, and he was able to, in his mind, eliminate at least the 4 made ones, but no one kind of beyond that. So that's what that was about. Why he thought he could do this at Shadar Logoth has everything to do with the 2 wounds in his side.
Well, I think the book also says he doesn't. You asked why? How did he know to do it there?
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know if it's going to work. But he's like, look, if I'm going to make it to the last battle, I'm not going to be able to do it without cleansing the taint.
But
so
it's more the mechanics. So you'll find out later that he asked how to do it from the Ilfin.
Yeah.
So it's one of his 3 questions that he asked in Tyr,
Mhm.
Oh,
how to do it.
yeah.
Doesn't mean it's going to work or he's going to succeed.
True enough, but it
yeah.
gave him a clue.
Yeah.
And the clue was built upon the fact that he had a wound in his side of one evil fighting another evil. Right? He had an evil from Ishamael stabbing him with the spear, the white hot poker, and then layered on top of that from book 7 was the Shadow Logoth dagger. And that those evils were contained by Damer Flynn and others, but they were fighting each other and not him. So that's kind of where he got the idea. And I think it gets revealed in a later book precisely what the answer was when he asked the Finn about how to cleanse the taint. And there's a circumspect answer that makes sense after he has the 2 wounds. And then he can kind of draw that as, oh, okay, that's what they meant by that, which basically means I need to take the evil of the taint and I need to take the evil of Shadow Logoth and put them in a way that they annihilate each other. So that's where the idea for this generates from.
It's also a good failsafe. Like, if I'm going to screw this up, it might as well be at Shadow Logoth because it's already screwed up there.
Yeah. So what happens is the Sidene gets funneled through the Sidar towards Shader Logoth, and it creates this dome of the dome is the taint, right? It's not just Sidene.
I thought Catswain created the dome.
No.
No? Okay.
Catswain creates a dome, a protective dome on the hill.
Right. Okay.
From long range attacks.
Right.
But what's basically happening in the abstract, and remember, Robert Jordan is pulling from quantum, physics and quantum mechanics and shit here. It's it's at one point, but it's at the same point everywhere. But he's creating a conduit, or basically a channel, that is infinitely wide and infinitely long, at the same time has no measurements whatsoever, of Sidar around Shadow Logoth. And through that conduit, he is squeezing all of Sidene, which cannot mix with Sidar because they're opposites. They cannot intermingle. So it's kind of like
the in physics, like charges.
Yeah.
Like
Sidene and Sidar are opposite
positive
charges.
And negative repel, or sorry, well, they would attract. Okay, so never mind that. That's not good enough. That's not
either way. They're of the same charge. They cannot intermingle. So imagine a basically big coil around the city of Shadow Logoth, infinitely big or whatnot. And what Rand is doing is taking then all of Sidene, because he's got the Choden Kal, he's trying to channel it, and he's squeezing the pool of power that is Sidene with that filth that sits on top of it. That's the taint, right? It's always metaphorically explained, but it's not mixed with Sidene. It's lying on top of it.
Like oil, it's like hydrophobic. It's
yeah. And what he's doing is basically taking the full body of water that is Sidene with that taint on top of it and trying to squeeze it into that channel such that it touches, it reacts with the evil of Shadow Logoth, which is at the bottom end of this Sidar channel that he's made through Nynaeve. And once that contact happens, there's like a matter-antimatter type of annihilation that occurs.
Yeah.
But the evil of Shadow Logoth, as it's touching, it constantly annihilates, basically consuming the taint from one end, but it's also eating up what Shadow Logoth is from the other end. And at the end of this hours-long process, what happens is there's no taint, and Shadow Logoth is the bottom half of the sphere that's completely been annihilated away.
So all that's left of Shadow Logoth going forward now is basically the wound that's in Rand, and of course Pan Fane.
Yeah. And the dagger.
So 2 wrongs do make a right.
That's one way to look at it.
But 2 negatives make a positive.
Yeah, okay, that makes more sense.
So, okay. Well, then, because I was just curious what exactly was going on based on the read. So, Like I literally just thought it was like I imagined Sidar was formed like a pipe, conduit, and I assumed like like the Sidene was going through it, and like and the like and the taint was just like somehow separating and just forming a dome on top of.
The taint was always kind of floating on top, but that was the whole point, was to squeeze all of Sidene through all of Sidar at a physical location and basically get them to touch and start annihilating and get that chain reaction going. And what's great about this is that
required all the energy in the world, hence the Chodan Call, basically.
This is what the Chodan Call does in the story. There's a reason why the Chodan Call does not show up for the last battle, and that's a satisfying payoff as well. But yeah, read and find out. But the nice thing about this,
it can only be used once, right? The Chodan Call.
No. It can be used more. It's just at the end of this, what happens is that the female female access key that Nynaeve was using is destroyed, but there's still the male one. So that's a plot thing going forward. But it opens the question, like, okay, if there was a male Chodan Call, why is that not prophesied to be used in the last battle? Why is it Kalendor? But that's a read and find out.
Okay.
But more broadly speaking, why this was a satisfying ending to Winter's Heart, the main theory leading up to this book as to why or how the taint would be cleansed. And keep in mind, there have been hints leading up to this event in the previous books.
He wants to do it for a long time.
Well, there's also Moraine questioning, what wound of madness has he healed? So it's in the prophecies of the dragon that the dragon would heal a wound of madness, right? And there was also Herod Fell in his cryptic comments before he was killed about clearing the rubble before you can build. Readers had interpreted that the taint was tied to the seals of the Dark One's prison. Mm. So the leading theory at Path of Daggers, so prior to Winter's Heart coming out, was that the taint would not be eliminated until all the seals were broken. And this book gave us, readers at the time, a different ending that we didn't see coming, and a physics mechanic that I think we all appreciated. So that's why this book ranks, especially the ending, ranks quite highly. For those who read it at the time.
I really liked the way that the last chapter was written. Like, structurally, it's very different from Demise Wells. Like, Demise Wells, you get Perrin's point of view and you get Rand's point of view. I think there's like a third POV in there, very briefly.
Yeah, Gawain.
You get Gawain for a bit.
Yeah.
Hooray.
It's not till the next book you get a bunch of ancillary views of that same battle. Mm-hmm. And this one, you don't get Rand. You get 100 different perspectives of chaos, just everything happening. I thought it was a really good way to good, different, and exciting way to write this last.
So Brian, this is a warning for the Sanderson books, because how this last chapter was written that Alan likes is exactly how the final 3 books are written.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So what Alan, if what he likes about it is it's sparingly done, and then when it's done to good effect.
Yeah.
But the last 3 books are all like this, where it's basically like half a page, let's change perspective, let's go to somebody else. So it's nonstop in the last 3 books. But yeah, like
doing it for one chapter is okay.
Yeah, if it's a climatic chapter and like there's a lot to basically absorb and digest and all this, I get it.
It also made sense though, because Rand isn't doing anything. Rand and Nynaeve are just sitting there.
Yeah, no, this would be a hard
charging up a Kamehameha. It's.
This would be a hard chapter to show from one perspective. A very hard chapter to show from one perspective, because that person would have to be at the center of everything, and it's impossible to be that.
Yeah.
Right.
So they formed like a circle around Rand, basically guarding him, and of course then
Yeah. So Rand and Nynaeve are in a circle with each other with the Choden Call, and then there are a bunch of other people. So Cadsuane, with her magical powers that makes her basically impervious, is defending Rand with like a small cadre of people staying on top of that hill. They have Kalendor as well, which gets wielded by Elsa Penfell and a couple of others. Like that's how they kill Deshiva. And then the others kind of all set off in kind of like a circular defense, right? Because they know this is going to attract people who basically come into their perimeter. Olivia's like a one-woman fucking killing machine, which is fucking awesome. But then you also have Eben and Daigian and I think one other.
She has Sidene.
That was great.
Which is all cool. But at the end of the day, it's all about Olivia, right? Now just me? All right. I'll shut up.
Eben, too bad Eben didn't survive. Eben and one of Cadsuane's people. I actually got it wrong. You corrected me, Dane.
Yeah, it wasn't Karuna. It was
but
Kumira. It was Kumira.
Kumira.
The brown with the eidetic memory.
And she was
not Cho Chang.
She was one of Cadsuane's attendants.
Yeah.
I don't think she was in anything before that.
Not really. And remember, Cadsuane recruits Aes Sedai to hang out with her, not for their ability with the one power, but for their other abilities. So Kumira had an eidetic memory. So the reason why Cadsuane was bringing her along with places is that she could ask her after the fact about everything observed, and she had perfect recall. And Daigian was an Aes Sedai who barely made it as Aes Sedai, but had other skills in terms of like being a scribe or conciliatory or a good personality, etc. Like Cadsuane would attract people outside of the normal Aes Sedai hierarchy of determining worth in fellow sisters. It's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. But yeah, so like all the Forsaken that showed up were the Forsaken that appeared in that evil council meeting, except for Moradin. Moradin himself did not show up.
Moradin didn't show up. But you had Arengar, you had Osengar, you had Grandal.
Even Meganium was there, but she didn't do shit.
Exactly.
Sindane.
He was waiting for Sindane or was it Arengar to die?
Masana did not show. I don't think Semerhad showed.
Semerhad should not show.
I don't think Demandred.
He shows up for a second, I think.
Yeah, Demandred showed up. He went to Shader Logoth, and he had to get the hell out. And he tried to engage. Was it Flynn? The old man,
right? Yeah, and then he fucked off.
Yeah, so he just left.
Well, is it which one was it? Was it Lanfear who shows up? No, does Lanfear have the cage thing that?
Yeah, so Lanfear is Sindane at this point in time, yes. And she has a Corsuvra.
Yes, that's what it's called. She's like, I was forced to show up because he keeps stroking my Corsuvra. And then she shows up and she's like,
she fights Olivia.
No one's gonna notice if I don't do anything, right?
That's Megadian.
That's Megadian. Okay. No one's gonna notice if I don't do anything.
Sindane wants to murder Rand.
Okay. Right. Oh yeah, because she's pissed.
He still has the same feelings from Fires of Heaven.
Yep.
Yeah. She's pissed that he's banging 3 other women.
Yep. So
that she
wants
knows
to see
about
him die. And one thing I did like that pays off here was when, remember, like in the Path of Daggers prologue, Varen does like a special type of compulsion to what was her name, Elza.
In one of the
and
tents.
so Elza kills a Forsaken, and she doesn't know it. She's a Black Aja.
Yeah, she basically like clears off the whole hilltop too, right? not
what was that move?
it could
that
have been
fireball.
Balefire.
I think it was just a fireball, though, right?
At the end of the day, though, Deshiva / Asangar does not come back.
It seemed
So
like
Elza is like a Forsaken killer.
It seemed like at the end he turned out to be a total joke.
Yeah, almost.
Well, he wasn't a fighter.
It's
He was a
scientist.
researcher.
He was
That's right.
terrifying.
He was doing his
terrifying
biology
as
experiment.
he was terrifying as Agenor in the Eye of the World. I remember.
I mean,
being like,
in
holy
in
shit.
his defense, he did come the closest to being successful of any of the Forsaken in the battle until he got friendly fired. So,
That's fair.
That's right.
He almost won, but for Elza.
Freaking Elsa.
I'm pretty sure he has a line where he's like, "Who knew that even I would be the hero of this battle?" Right before he gets new.
So with Sindane takes on what's her name?
Olivia.
Olivia. And so Olivia is stronger than she was as Lanfear, basically, is what.
With the Angreal. Yeah.
But also, yes. So
Interesting.
Olivia is the top tier that a woman can reach. So is Lanfear. Sindane is drained, and therefore she's one tier lower. But what Sindane is noting is that Olivia is stronger than even she was as Lanfear, which basically means, Olivia is using an Angreal, which she is, because she got that thing from Nynaeve.
Yeah, okay. Makes sense.
But Olivia is a walking weapon. She's 400 years, and the only thing she's learned how to channel is how to blow people up.
All right.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah. And Cat Swain basically, just my appreciation for Cat Swain finally happens in this chapter. So I don't think I liked her.
Yeah, she grows on you.
Yeah, like a growth.
Yeah, like a tumor.
Yeah. And I liked how it ends with her point of view. So like Rand is out cold, Nynaeve is out cold from the entire thing. And yeah, that's how they
the female
channel,
Axis D is destroyed. The male one she secures.
and they confirm, was it Narishma confirms that Sidene is clean.
Yeah, the time of illusions is at an end.
Yeah, so
It's less.
The worst plot line ever. I've already calmed Brian down from this. He's so excited. What is the end of illusions and Tremalking? What does that mean? It means the worst fucking subplot ever that's not going to pay off.
Yeah, it makes me. Hearing Time of Illusions, I have the Force of Illusion thing from Super Mario World stuck in my head now.
Probably better.
Yeah, that one.
Dave, did you post as Fitzy the dog during the show?
Yeah, he did.
Totally did. He totally did.
You got to throw him off the trail, all right?
Wait, I'm not Fitzy. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Fitzy. Yeah, Fitzy's.
Fitzy's a real fucking asshole.
Yeah.
That's all I'll have to say. I hope Steve is feeling better, and that Steve, if he needs any content, he goes reads the last month of Fitzy posts.
Yeah, he just got out of the hospital. So
yeah, I think Steve is streaming right now.
Is he?
Oh, he might be doing Fitzy posts then. So who knows?
Oh yeah, he's streaming.
Fitzy post is probably what he put him in the hospital, so it makes sense to
bring it back.
Yeah,
read through all of them and be like, "Fuck this guy!
Yeah,
this is what caused this with me. I can't believe this." And go from there.
The best Fitzy post is still the one where you said that people who like the show are mentally.
Wait, what?
The one where you said only people with mental deficiencies can.
Wait, you mean Errol? People can only appreciate how great the show is if they have a mental illness, because otherwise they can't appreciate how great Errol was as a character.
Yeah,
What's wrong with that?
nothing. Nothing's wrong with it.
Exactly.
It was
Hey,
genius. Is what it
You
was.
learn the greatest sword form ever. The cuckoo flies over the nest.
Mm.
Okay, what?
What?
What? All right. So
You
that's
guys are acting like because Fitzy was my old dog that I'm somehow him on Twitter.
Of course not.
Yeah,
course not.
exactly.
Okay.
All right, but so that's the end of
There-
Winter's Heart. That's 9 books. I have 2 more Robert Jordan books left. I have 5 more Wheel of Time books. I still want to get done with the series this year, so I'm gonna get right
running
on
out of
to. Yeah, I know. I want to get right on to Crossroads of Twilight. See if
1.5 speed on the audiobook. Don't bother reading it along with it. You'll be fine.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'll keep that. I'll consider that. I did that. I did some of that with Winter's Heart. I ended up reading everything anyways because that's what I do. So
There's still some good stuff in the next book. It's just a little slow.
all right, Alan. I'm gonna keep I'm gonna keep the hope up because of that. So.
I cannot remember the ending to the next book though either because
It barely has an ending.
Yeah,
It kind of just stopped.
It's Egwene.
It just stopped.
Oh, it is Egwene, you're right.
Is
All
it?
right.
That's
Yeah.
Yes,
And
I remember.
it's a cold river.
Yeah. So yeah, the book doesn't have an ending. So.
Like I said, my expectations are like
But-
lower than the floor at this
Dude,
point. so.
Knife of Dreams is peak. Knife of Dreams is fantastic.
Yes.
Good.
So
I know certain things that happen in Knife of Dreams, so I'm really excited to get to it. So, all right, so thanks for joining me. This has been a great thing. I have to go to bed. Great stream. I'm sure that the next stream will be only how long? 15 minutes, 30 minutes. That's what will
For Crossroads?
For Crossroads.
Yeah, you could probably do it in at least 20 minutes.
20 minutes. So,
I'll join you for it. I'll do it, and I'll basically be like, if you get more than 20 minutes, I'll call you out.
Maybe do a dual thing. Maybe because I have the World of Wheel of Time. I've been meaning to read that too, and I wanted to talk to you.
Well, that'll extend it out because that's such a fantastic the big white book. Yeah, I got my copy here somewhere.
is that when you can canonically read it without getting spoiled?
Yeah, you have to. It came out after book 7. It came out between book 7 and book 8. So yeah.
I still need to read that.
I have the red one.
The red one's the version I have.
The red one with the but mine's tainted because it has the little circle.
Yeah.
It says now a show.
I feel like I need a physical copy of that book. That I don't think that would be a good audiobook read, right?
It's the same book basically, but better cover.
Because it's like
big book of bad art.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then then the other one is and you have to do it after the series World of Wheel of Time, or is that?
I think that.
No.
The companion.
The companion, yeah. This is the World of Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time. That's
So the companion is got so many spoilers. You can't touch it until you read the series.
All right. Okay. All right, then I'll consider that for next time. So
does the good Varen stuff, is that in Knife of Dreams or is that in Gathering Storm?
Which one? Sorry.
The fun Varen stuff.
Gathering Storm.
Gathering Storm, but Knife of Dreams has got great matte parts. It's got great, probably the best Rodal Ituralda parts early on. It's got a great
prologues.
Galad fight is in that one. The Elaine stuff doesn't suck in that one. It actually gets pretty good. And even the Perrin stuff is bearable.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's a lot to look forward to in Knife of Dreams.
All right, well, that's the one I'm looking for. I'm wondering if I need to. I think I might need to split that one up, that book up for streaming wise.
It's a lot. It's a lot. You might want to.
Knife of Dreams also has probably the best Nynaeve moment in the series.
Brian, read the first half of Knife of Dreams and then
Yeah,
decide if you want to stream on that before going forward.
All right.
That's what else.
Okay,
It's
so-
kind of, you can see it was Robert Jordan trying to bring everything together too, because before he knew he was dying, he was like, "Oh, I can take my time. I
Well,
can make these longer and longer."
so that with Knife of Dreams, as far as a reader who is reading it as it was coming out, the issue with it was that Robert Jordan had publicly stated that Wheel of Time would only be 12 books.
Mhm.
So the 11th volume, when it came out, I was expecting a lot more to get wrapped up than ultimately did. And that's why it was a disappointment to me as I was reading it. My expectations were that far more would get solved in this one book, because I got to the end of it and I was like, there is no way in hell this series wraps up in one more book.
Yeah.
And that was Sanderson even saying, it's like, I got into this and I was going to write the final volume and then realized immediately that was impossible.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I'm sure Robert Jordan would have come to the same conclusion too, But
no, RJ would have taken 5 more books to finish the whole series. Like, honestly.
Right.
Anyways.
But he did know he was dying, and he was like, "I'll do one more to finish it off," and then realized.
No, he got his diagnosis like the week after Knife of Dreams came out.
Oh, it was after. Okay, I thought he knew during.
No.
So that explains why he didn't wrap nearly as much stuff up as he probably could have.
Yeah.
So
it was really quick too. Like
2 years,
yeah.
But I mean, blood cancer. Like
yeah.
A very rare disease. So I'm taking it during that one interview that he did for Knife of Dreams. I'm assuming he already had the he already knew about it. That's kind of why I think he was really quiet. He wasn't nearly
a week after the book came out is when they said that he got the diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, RJ had the best medicine money could buy, right?
Mm-hmm.
He went to the Mayo Clinic. Like, money wasn't an object, and he was confident he was going to beat it. And he'd been saying for years too that like he'd keep writing until they nailed shut his coffin, kind of stuff. The reason, the other thing that he had said publicly was he had written no notes and no one could finish the book without him, because as weird as this fucking sounds, people were getting so like frustrated with him not finishing his books that it became a threat against his life. Being like, if the author dies, then someone else will finish it and probably finish it quicker. So to preclude that from happening, he said, yeah, no one's going to finish this but me. Because he was actually scared of psychos taking that point of view.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a bluff on his part. And what he ended up doing was basically writing scenes and sketching outlines and developing the story until the day he died, so that the story could get finished for his fans.
How long did he write until he couldn't write anymore?
Like his last week of life.
Yeah.
So he was still writing. He was still writing on his typewriter.
Till the end.
Yep.
Till the end. I thought like after like a few months, he would.
You get a tape recorder and he can dictate. Right? As long as he could speak, as long as he could write, he was working on the story till the very end.
All right. Interesting. Okay. I was curious about that. All right. But this is where we got to wrap up. So thank you guys for doing this. It was a great stream. 3 hours, for Winter's Hard. Yeah, decent enough. So anything going on? I'll start with Alan. I know you've been doing a lot of stuff. Congrats on the weight loss.
Thanks.
Keep it up.
Yeah, I do a fitness stream every week. I do Best Gen every weekend, and I've been streaming a lot of Silk Song. I'm getting pretty close. I think I'm almost done with the game.
What the fuck is Silk Tongue?
It's the sequel to Hollow Knight. It's a Metroidvania, and it's amazing.
Yes.
It's so good.
You ever play a Metroidvania?
It's
I don't know what words you're talking.
So
you ever play Castlevania?
Castlevania or Metroid have a very similar gameplay style that has
Oh, it's a video game.
a
Okay.
Metrovania. It's a side-scrolling, non-linear, explore the map, unlock abilities, fight bosses.
The map is like a maze.
Yeah,
Like Pharaoh's Tomb.
sure. I don't know. I think it's
Is
brilliant.
Is Pharaoh's
Like,
Pharaoh
it's
still a
OG
platformer?
Zelda.
It's an indie company. They made the first game. It went, it did gangbusters, and then they took 8 years making the sequel, and it's phenomenal.
You love
So,
it. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I gotta finish soon though, so I can get back to making regular YouTube videos.
What
Which
about
actor?
well, you Staple Bowl, what's going on with you besides college?
Not much. Kind of just been doing more of the usual. I also just finished Silk Song, so
Yeah.
I'll have to play that. I have maybe I'll get the Switch.
Staple Bro like said in private chat where he's going, and I honestly have to say, like, having graduated from like the Princeton of Alberta and the Harvard of Alberta, he's at a better school. So, yeah, good for you for getting in there, bud. But get yourself a good econ degree, and if you get high enough marks, try and get yourself like a master's or PhD, or fuck, if you want to end up on Wall Street or something, that's a good gateway, bud. So
all right.
keep in touch,
All right.
because like I'm in private equity and I make way too much money for the amount of work that I do. But that's like the dream for
That's the dream.
yeah, everyone that knows how the economy works, suckers.
What about you, Dane? What about the White Cloaks? Is there going to be
All right, so
is there going to be
two
a
things.
White Cloak stream?
Now that the show is over, maybe I talked it over with the guys, but we're thinking we got to do a rewatch, but like live stream it as opposed to like what we've been doing, where it's like it takes for fucking ever to talk through like 5 minutes of a shitty ass show because we
you're
spend like
pausing
2
every
hours.
2 seconds.
Yeah. So we just got to let it run and then make fun of it as it goes.
Do a
So
Mr.
maybe we
Science
do that
Theater
from the
type.
top, and maybe we put in like no effort to it, and we just like live stream it and like give a new guest or whatever a voice for like every episode, so that there's only 4 of us yakking. But that's a thing we're going. And then the other thing that I'm thinking of, and it's only because this is what I want to do, but it's not my channel, so I got to run it by Pips and Alex too. But that Charlie Kirk assassination's fucking fucked me up. In terms of I think I have some commentary on it that may or may not be received or whatever, but it has to do with moral philosophy. I'm going to have to run it by those guys. I don't want to basically use the channel as an avenue for something that Alex and Pips might disagree with. So I'll have to reach out to them about that. But I've got a semi-decent script plotted out in my head about that. It has absolutely nothing to do with Wheel of Time, though. It's purely because I have access to a channel with 1,000 subs and maybe people view it. So that's what's kind of holding me back from that end of it too. But
my live streams have gotten a lot more political too.
yeah. So I'm not sure people want to go there, or if I should just like find a different avenue. But holy fucking shit, we're in a world where people
if they don't
kill
want it, I'll put it on my channel, man. You give me the video.
You may or may not.
I said this on. I did a stream on Wednesday. I made a statement about that. I feel this is worse than like JFK, because people didn't actually. People didn't have billions of phones and billions of footage from billions of angles to see this. Like I saw the life go out of him. I saw the bullet go into his neck. I saw the blood come out, and I can't unsee that. Nobody can unsee that.
But that's only part of it. The other part of it is
He wasn't a politician.
He was all
Yeah.
about. Well,
They did this
he
the
was and he
first
wasn't,
thing.
right?
This
So
was
he was a political activist from the start.
Yeah, he was trying to
he-
have conversations with people. He was trying to. He said the people
Everything that he did was about open debate,
was
right?
about
And-
preventing this type of thing from happening.
and
preventing
everything he
violence.
was about was like, prove me wrong, come with your words, come with your arguments, right?
Better ideas. Fight ideas with better
Let's
ideas.
fight out ideas in the marketplace of ideas. And some fucking twat decided that his ideas were what should be met with
Problematic.
violence.
Yeah.
And the most disgusting thing out of all of this was the amount of celebration that happened online
Yes.
after
Yes. Yes.
that woke a lot of people up, but it also that offended me more than any video of seeing that poor man in his last second of life.
That's a reason why I'm not picking. I mean, one example is the game Ghost of Yotei.
Yeah.
The developers of that game,
Good riddance.
More than one of them said yes. Yeah.
But I know people personally who like didn't know anything about him beyond what was said in leftist media and were celebrating it, being like, good, he got what he deserved. And it's just like, do you fucking hear yourself?
Yeah, I've seen people in real life.
Yeah,
not internet people celebrating.
I've cut off a few bridges with that as well.
But where I want to go with the script that I'm coming up with in my head, it's kind of about what morality is and where it comes from. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Charlie Kirk would have agreed with where my view is. I would have loved to have debated it with him. That's cut off for me forever for now. Yeah. But as someone who's not Christian, right, and seeing the reaction,
are you drawing from like the Greek philosophy,
Greek Roman philosophy, but also more modern kind of Enlightenment revolution, Richard Dawkins, Selfish Gene in particular, what they have to say about what morality is and where it comes from. John Nash, Prisoner's Dilemma. Staplebow is going to get a fucking crash course in game theory in a little bit.
Let me write this down. Was it Richard Dawkins? I know who that is.
Yeah, there's a lot ultimately where this comes. Daniel N. Robinson, great philosophy professor as well. Like I've read through all this stuff too. But at the end of the day, where does our morality come from? What is morality? And
are you talking like a personal sense or a society?
No, morality. You define your terms. What does it mean? Yeah. Rules for conduct, how people know what they think or what they know is right. David Hume even opines on this as well. I'm going to go into detail. Like I've got my thoughts sketched out. It could be a semi-decent video. It's just not a White Cloaks video. Mm-hmm. So I got to run it by the other guys first before anything gets posted up. But I've got all these thoughts kind of in my head. But at the end of the day, and speaking as someone who is not religious, right? And maybe I'd end on this. There's a great parable in Herodotus that I have on the shelf back up there about what is the best life, who lived the best life, and there are these two boys who Cleatus and Biton. I know Gadfly would correct me if he's still in chat, but they brought their mother to worship on the holy day. She needed to go to the temple of Hera, and the oxen were down. So these strapping young lads basically said, "Don't worry, Mom, we'll take you there." And they took up the ox cart and they strapped themselves in, and they ran the whole way, and they were exerting themselves, exhausted, but they brought their mother to her holy temple day, and then the mother was able to pray in the temple of Hera, and Hera asked her for a boon, and she asked, "May my sons die the happiest of men." And then when she left the temple, she found her sons in the shade under a tree with smiles on their faces, but dead. They had passed because they were the happiest of men. They had done something great for their mother. They had, felt happy and achieved everything, but they were in the prime of their life. And it's an interesting parable because when I relate it to Charlie Kirk, I think if his death was instantaneous, he died the happiest of men.
Yeah.
He died the happiest of men.
Yeah.
Think about it this way. His guy was president of the United States. His guy that he helped find and identify was the vice president of the United States, the guy to carry the mantle after Donald Trump.
Yeah.
He had a smoke show of a wife. I'm sorry, Erica Kirk. He batted way out of his league, and he got the girl. He had 2 beautiful children. His organization that he started from nothing was one of the premier political organizations, was on every campus and everything coast to coast. And he was at a forum where he did what he loved doing, which was debating ideas.
For miles to talk to him.
Exactly. To prove him wrong, but he had his supporters, and he was in the freedom shirt, and he was doing the photo ops with the kids who loved him. And he was doing what he loved, surrounded by a lot of people who loved him. And even those that didn't love him, he loved them enough to want to speak with them and engage with them. So since Cletus and Brighton, I don't think there is a better example of someone who died the happiest of men than Charlie Kirk. And as someone who doesn't believe in life after death, I take comfort from that. If that makes sense to you guys.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. This is Herodotus, and the parable is called "What is the Best Life?"
I'll send you the text after. I got it up over there, but yes.
All right, yeah, please send it. I kind of want to read it. I do want to read it. Excuse me. So, all right. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing that, by the way.
If all you can hope for out of life is to die the happiest of men, then let us all be Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
That being said, his happiness, I think it's our sorrow, because I truly, it's beyond tragic. Like we have to pick up said mantle. We have to deal with the fallout of it.
Yeah.
We have to ensure that this doesn't happen again.
Agreed.
By whatever means.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's a hard one. So. All right. For me, I don't have any tutorials planned. I gotta start asking people. Maybe, are there any other White Cloaks on the White Cloak server that are worthy? I had Ozzy on Friday. It was great. It was a great one. You guys have like 1 billion people.
You got to hang out with Space Oyster some more. As far as video games go, you just got to reach out to him.
He's on my server. He sometimes chats when there's things to say.
You guys will have a fun video game to chat about one day. That's what I would recommend.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the new Metroid Prime on the Switch. So I'm gonna get the Switch 2 eventually. Yeah, same idea. So. Yeah. Other than that, yeah. I mean, I do want to make another video. Maybe I'll do another anime retrospective or a video game retrospective or a movie. I don't know. I've been.
Did you make a video on Monster, or did you?
I need to do that. So. Yeah, Ozzy saw Monster and he loved it. So I probably should make a recommend Monster video. That was a great series.
Yeah.
That's coming out. That's coming out physical media. I'm picking that up. Next year it's going to come out. I'm happy. So I also have the manga
Netflix?
too.
Was that right?
It's on Netflix. It is on
Netflix.
If you want to watch it. So but yeah, I'll think of stuff. I don't know, maybe Dane, maybe I'll reach out to you. Maybe we'll do something.
We got to do some Star Trek Voyager. And if I got to fucking buy a PS5,
you gotta buy a game. You gotta buy the game.
Buy that fucking game. You know what?
Did you see the trailer, Alan?
Yeah, you showed me the trailer. I'm gonna have to do it, and it's like the prospect of having my own Voyager and my 3D map of the ship, and
you get to save too, Vix.
Yeah, Tuvix
knew?
is fucking dead. Tuvix. You know what? I would kill off Tuvix just so that Neelix and Tuvok would also die. That's how much I like this
Tuvok
character.
is the Tuvok's actor. Oof.
Exactly. Why do you think I'm upset?
Yeah, I had
Neelix
even
is collateral
Shatner,
damage.
even Mr. Shatner said that was poor fucking taste.
Yeah.
That was awful. So, all right.
Anyways, we know what's up.
Yeah.
The sad thing is Billy D. Williams, his account was actually hacked. Otherwise, I would have respect for that guy.
Yeah.
Oh well.
And Billy D. Williams is awesome. So, all right. Okay, guys. All right. So keep your eyes peeled. Stay tuned for Crossroads of Twilight. It might be the shortest ever stream I've ever done, but we'll see. We'll see what else can go into it. So, other than that, everybody, take care. Have a good night. Stay corporeal and stay safe.
Bye.